Welcome back, folks. It's another great day here on Valiant Renegade. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Share this sucker out on the social medias. And do leave a comment before you head out today. Because this is where Hollywood comes to get put through the business and financial lens of reality. It's time. Renegade Online. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see all of you out there once again. Good to be back here live at 5 on a Wednesday afternoon. It's the last Wednesday of the month, so you know what that means. It's the Vixens Show, a title selected by this amazing audience. Sorry, running a few minutes late. A slight change of plan. I started to set up a separate lobby for Renegade Nation later on this evening that I was going to bleed over from this show because the Kimmel topic kind of overlaps. And then I want to get on the other channel. We'll talk about what happened this morning in Dallas at the ICE detention facility. But instead of, I didn't want to leave another lobby up, knowing what time we'd get there. This audience is already here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have the redirect set up when I kill the stream on the main channel here later on, and we begin to segue into other things. You'll be redirected over there, and then the show will just continue on automatically from the same StreamYard lobby on Renegade Nation. I did, however, not even a minute. Wonko the Sane, are you in the audience? I didn't even have that lobby up 30 seconds, and Wonko had already dropped a $10 super chat. I took a picture of it because I even told him in the chat. That's why I was a few minutes late starting this one. I was like, dude, I was about to kill this one because I didn't want to confuse everybody and then have to switch lobbies if anybody wanted to, come over from this show over there. So I will get to the super chat here. In fact, Wonko, let's see. It said nothing. It was $9.99. I have it right here. The Wonko super chat is right here. It's kind of you can't see it. It was just a $10 super chat from Wonko the Sane. I hope he's out there because I told him in there. I said I'm going to save your super chat. Y'all got to remind me to get to this when we get to Renegade Nation. I don't know how that works since I did that. All right, we've got a number of topics to get to this evening, and we're going to have several of the ladies joining us be around here shortly. But up first is always my wonderful co-host for the Vixens Show, Michelle from Force of Light. How are you?
Hello, good to be here.
Well, thank you for joining us. And I think Stephanie is going to come by. And I didn't realize this until right before we started the show.
It's her birthday.
It is her birthday today.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, crap. I didn't say anything. I didn't call her or anything. And I just realized that. I was like, I just saw a post. It's Stephanie's birthday. So when Stephanie gets here, make sure you wish Stephanie a happy birthday.
Yes.
And I think Joe was going to be coming as well. And
I was supposed to be.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll have a few others here. All right. So I'm exhausted the last 2 weeks, Michelle, and not because of traveling and having just the news. It's exhausting. I mean, I'm still kind of beside myself, but
it's been a lot.
The yo-yo effect of Jimmy Kimmel actually being the stupidest part of it, and frankly the least important, but yet a topic that we do want to get into tonight, among several others. Like I said, I think there are some great topics for this show specifically, and then I think what we're going to do is kind of, as we're going to get to the Jimmy Kimmel thing towards the back half, because I think we got plenty of stuff to talk about before. And then as we kind of get into Jimmy Kimmel, I'm going to add Renegade Nation into the mix. And then, we're going to talk about the ICE thing over there exclusively. Like we'll kill this show and then have the audience go. So y'all want to stick around. Any thoughts on that? Welcome to it. But I'm doing my best to try to keep like the hard news stuff off the main channel here. Just that's why I created the second one. Just to kind of keep this more to the entertainment side. But like I said earlier, the Jimmy Kimmel thing bleeds over to both sides. So we're going to talk about it here for sure.
It definitely bleeds into it's definitely entertainment news.
Oh, no question. No question. But there's also a lot of, politics and regulatory side to this that I there's so much rumor and garbage out there right now. It's unbelievable. What's not rumor and garbage is the birthday girl.
Happy birthday! Hold on. No. Let me get something here.
Okay, I did not know until like 5 minutes ago, Stephanie. I just realized I saw something posted. So I hated it when people do my birthday. That was last week on Friday. And like I don't say anything. People invariably find out, and I'm getting super chats and stuff. Happy birthday! I'm like, damn. So now you got to suffer it too. So.
No, that's fine. I don't mind.
So you are 17 today.
Exactly.
Because you look like a kid.
She still can't see rated R films without an adult.
Nope. I need an adult.
No. And she's still as tall as the average 12-year-old. So.
I just need to know. I need to know, Steph, on your birthday, did you watch? I haven't watched it yet. Did you watch the trailer for Wicked Part 2?
I did.
Did it look good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that movie's still going to do. Look, the first one, I wasn't, if anything, I was surprised by the box office in the wrong direction. Like I thought it would actually do more.
Okay.
I mean,
how much did it do, Valiant?
Was it like right around 800?
Okay, around 800.
I thought that movie had a solid chance of getting to the bill mark, the 1 billion mark. Maybe some of that had to do with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo getting really weird. I don't remember when that kind of started.
It started when the movie was coming out.
That's
a little bit afterward. There was always something with Wicked, and it always had to do with Cynthia Erivo. So I just think that she has a really big ego.
Well, tonight, Steph, we're gonna hold space for your birthday.
Yes. Yes. Like this from Hillis Mallory. He says for $20, happy birthday, Steph.
Thank you.
You're already going to be getting these out there. Speaking of, we got some early super chats that came in. Let me get some of these here. Packing Protons says for $5, I could be mean and say you are muted, but I won't. Or are you? Not today, Satan. No, I wasn't. I was not. I did that the other day.
I remember that.
Yes. When I figured out what happened, because I did this once before, when I was coming out of whatever it was I was sharing, like it auto mute you, but I think it was playing something else. And then I went down and I'm like, I hit that stupid button. And then I realized I probably bumped it twice. Like I unmuted it and then instantly muted it again. And because I'm like, I know I clicked that button. But I had done that once before where I double clicked and remuted myself.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah. Especially me.
I do it all the time.
There you go. I don't feel bad anymore. It's not just a boomer thing.
I do it all the time.
Thank you for the 5 gifted Valiant Renegade channel memberships. Dragon Queen for 10. You want to get this one, Michelle?
Sure. Caution, the episode of Silent Renegade may include curse and strong usage of trust me, bro. Viewer discretion is advised. And he's not much himself again. Hugs for all. And he's not muted himself again. Hugs for all.
No, I have not. Because he knows my saying. We don't do trust me, bro here. Yes. I am going to be better on Renegade Nation tonight. I'm tired of getting this upset because I mean, at the pace that the news is happening, especially with these lefty crazies, I'm gonna have a heart attack before I turn 47. So I
don't do it. Don't do it, Valley.
Nope, not doing it anymore. I got it out of my system, I think, and we're just going to move on from there. But believe me, there will still be plenty of Renegade rants, just a little bit more toned down. It was too much within 2 weeks. Kenneth Rock.
Can you answer? I know this is saved for later, but no one was actually killed besides the gunman, right?
One of the ICE detainees was actually killed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was 4 total. 2 died. One was the gunman himself, self-inflicted with the rifle that he had. And I saw the pictures of it. The local news agency leaked that out. I was like,
Yeah, I did too.
Half his
I
head is
don't
gone.
understand why they would leak that.
I'm surprised it stayed up as long as it did. But it's all over the place now. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't understand why they would leak that.
Yeah, I'm tired of seeing people getting murdered on
clicks.
Yeah, Stephanie. I'm tired of seeing people getting murdered on X. I'd like to not see people get murdered.
Well, that was just the news organization put out the actual. I mean, it was like a drone footage because they didn't work. The story is, as the law enforcement, they knew where the shot was coming from because he was just spraying bullets into a building. I mean, it's just, hey, it's an ice building. Bang, 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 bang. Saw the
is that what he was doing?
Yep.
Okay, because I haven't looked into it too much. I didn't know he was spraying it with bullets. Because
spraying it as much as you can with a bolt action. Basically,
yeah,
it was a very similar weapon to what shot Charlie Kirk.
A sniper.
Yeah, everybody that has a rifle sitting at 100 yards plus away, the news media calls a sniper. You know, it's like saying everything is an assault weapon. It's just one of those. It was a guy. It was a loon with a rifle. And he shot at the building. They had pictures. There were bullet holes in the walls, shots through windows, and then several shots placed into a transport van that pulled up. Ostensibly, the guy thinking that there were ICE agents inside when it was actual prisoners.
Yeah.
And he killed one of them. So anyway, we'll talk about that more on the show later. But yeah, it's just the whole situation is just awful. And yeah, too much news. Kenneth Rock, thanks for being a member for 29 months. No message there. And again, if you guys are channel members, you get a super chat every month with it. So definitely worth the $5 cost of entry. And the bigger memberships get you bigger super chats. And then we got to do another member show here soon. The last week of last month was a mess. And then this Friday, however, 2 days from now, short of I know I have a football game to go to, high school football game. So we may actually try something tomorrow night. I will let you guys know. Let's see here. Hillis Mallory for 2, Michelle.
Jimmy Kimmel is back. Well, sort of.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get there.
And they're just all praising how this monologue was the most watched in a long time. Well, of course it was the most watched. We were all waiting to see if he would actually apologize.
It'll be all that viewership will be gone in a week or less.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You know, so that's the big thing. So a couple of stories out there, some of them funny, some of them serious, and I don't even know which one I really kind of want to get to yet, but I feel like I kind of want to start with this. You know, the sad thing is this was not a surprise at all.
No,
not at all.
For those of y'all that don't know, well, I mean, Steph, Michelle, y'all kind of want to explain this because we were all on YouTube. We all remember this.
I'll let the birthday girl go.
I mean, it's basically the Biden administration coming for free speech during COVID and trying to manipulate the narrative and getting anybody deplatformed who didn't follow suit. And they're still doing it, talking about trans. So, you know, they're still technically doing it. You can get deplatformed for saying bad things about that community. But that's basically what this is.
Yeah. You know, in the vein of, and we'll talk about this later when we get to Jimmy Kimmel, but, you know, in the vein of, do you want to see what real, actual government censorship looks like? This was it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Michelle.
I'm still waiting for 400 celebrities to sign a thing about, you know, this being against free speech. I will hold my breath and wait for Hollywood to say anything about the Biden administration actually censoring free speech, but we'll just sit here and wait the rest of the stream.
Well, it doesn't have anything to do with multimillionaire celebrities. This has everything to do with the plebs, you know, So they don't really care about regular Americans not having a voice. They need their mouthpieces to have voices. That's why they all came out. But remember during COVID, like what was it? When you were doing a stream or you did a video, there was like that community note underneath the video.
Yep.
No, I remember
Wherein-
that. Yes.
Yeah.
And it give like their facts of COVID. Yeah, 19.
Yeah. The CDC and the World Health Organization, remember, which we found out after the fact that a great deal of what they said was just wrong.
It was inaccurate.
Or they just made it up on the spot, things like that. It was incredible. But yeah, the government actually used its power. And again, this was the scary thing. This wasn't the Federal Communications Commission, right? With the public airwaves that they're charged with regulating. This was Google, Facebook they testified to having done the same thing on behalf of government edict. Instagram, X prior to Elon Musk, Twitter under Jack Dorsey. They all testified before Congress in the last couple of years that they were indeed, and they brought the evidence. Yeah, we were told, we even had points of contact from the government telling us what we should do and should allow and shouldn't allow and all this kind of stuff. And they were very aggressive. I mean, entire YouTube channels were demonetized, deplatformed, erased from existence. People's livelihoods were eradicated. Financial livelihoods were eradicated because of this. And Google swore up and down at the time, and the government, of course, swore up and down at the time that this was not going on.
Yeah.
They all lied. They all lied.
And we knew it was happening. Like you could tell if you were a content creator, you could tell this was happening. They were suppressing everything that we could say. We had to come up with new terms for whatever we wanted to talk about. We had to come up with like different workarounds for talking about certain subjects, talking about COVID, talking about the jab, like
the
all of that.
bug. Yeah, the jab. Remember all that crap? I mean, I remember when I first started my YouTube channel in 2021. I mean, like, everybody was saying these stupid words to describe, COVID or anything related to it, because one word out of line that wasn't completely perfectly in line with what the government commanded, that again, much of was wrong or just outright made up by people like Fauci. I mean, and your channel was eradicated from the face of the earth.
Yeah. You couldn't even say it. You couldn't even say the word vaccine. You couldn't even say COVID-19.
Yeah, COVID.
You couldn't even say it.
Which is bizarre. Like, why can you not say COVID-19? And here's my kind of question. Because I'm glad that this came out. I'm glad that they're public. This is public now. Even though, as Steph said, we all knew it. There's people that want to deny it, so now they really can't deny it. So I'm glad that this came out. But why are they we're still censored on some level? I mean, just like we now still use the workaround of grape. Like, why do they not have an advanced enough AI system to pick up context?
Yeah. Yeah. I have no idea.
I think the reason that they were suppressing all of that is because they just didn't want you to talk about it. They don't want you to talk about it. They don't want to have people learning that other people aren't falling in line. They just want you to listen to what they're telling you, believe what they are telling you, and fall in line. That's why everybody was getting censored. That's why you had to have workarounds for whatever you were talking about, the coof, the jab. Like, that's why, because they didn't want you to be talking about it. They just wanted you to fall in line. Right? Because if you're talking about it, if you're being skeptical, if you're questioning, then it would be harder to take over.
Yeah.
Like,
I just looking at this now, and again, this is one of these things that we've talked about a number of times, not just here and on the Renegade Nation channel, for a variety of things, to where we all knew it was going on, but there's a certain level of satisfaction that, yes, finally, we have absolute confirmation, unequivocal confirmation that we were right. And we knew it.
Yes.
And I mean, you read here, simple press release. And by the way, this is from the House Judiciary Committee, United States House of Representatives. Today, thanks to the oversight of Chairman Jim Jordan, Republican from Ohio, Google commits to offer, and this is the crazy part, like the restitution here seems virtually impossible. Google commits to offer all creators previously kicked off of YouTube due to political speech violations on topics such as COVID-19, which, how is that a political speech violation? But again, Google just randomly defined it as this based on what they were forced to do by the Biden administration. And look, let's be honest, a lot of people working at Google that were totally in line with this and perfectly fine. Like, hey, you don't even have to ask us. We'll be happy to do it for you, right?
Yeah.
And elections, and election interference claims in 2020, an opportunity to return to the platform. Let me stop right there because, okay, you had channels out there that had, in some cases, thousands, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands. I don't remember who the biggest channel was that was deplatformed. Maybe it was million plus. I don't know. How do these people go back and, I mean, okay, here's your channel back.
Yeah.
How many you have? You back to 0 subscribers. You're not monetized. By the way, the last 5 years of revenue. Sorry about that. What do
do you think they can sue them? Could they sue Google for breaking their own community guidelines and violating free speech?
It'd be great to have Ron Coleman here to answer this, but I wonder, my first question to Ron would be, what kind of merit would a lawsuit really be able to hold against Google for doing this if they're going to go to court? They're going to pull up this page right here from the House Judiciary Committee and say, look, the government made us do it. What were we supposed to do? I mean, I don't know. I mean, the answer may be, yeah. Sure. I mean, look, you can sue, right? The question is it going to be successful? I'd be curious. I mean, I think it'll be interesting now that Google has come out and admitted this. There may be content creators out there that could show, significant and real financial damage from that, and then try to extrapolate that over, potentially 4 or 5 years of growth and revenue that they were banned from getting. Now, some of these guys may have started second channels and going on again. I know YouTubers have done that. Again, I don't know how the argument would really fetter out in court. I think it would be interesting, but Google has itself kind of in a nice position now. Hey, yes, we can admit that we did this, but Joe Biden made us do it.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good defense, So I don't know how that would work. But just as far as the specifics here, look, Google also admitted to the following to the House Judiciary Committee. The Biden administration pressured Google to censor Americans and remove content that did not violate YouTube's policies.
That's critical.
They got them on the record.
Yeah, it fell under their misinformation policies.
Right. Yeah, which again seems it's pretty nebulous, right? I mean, Jimmy Kimmel last week making the claim that, hey, the shooter was anybody, MAGA thinking that the shooter was anybody other than one of them, his words, right? That would violate misinformation policies by YouTube, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
I even feel his apology kind of violates misinformation because he says that he wasn't a part of any group, and we know that the bullet casings have direct ties to some Antifa things.
Oh yeah, he was definitely part of a group. That's why I say Jimmy's apology was not even an apology. So
it wasn't an apology.
It wasn't at all. No, it was just a load of steaming horse crap. Public debate should never come. Or let's see, Biden administration censorship presser was unacceptable and wrong. Again, admissions by Google, their agreement with the House Judiciary Committee. Public debate should never come at the expense of relying I guess on authorities is what it means to say. The company will never use third-party, quote, fact checkers. And let me tell you why that's important. The whole fact-checking industry especially got big time with, following COVID and then the 2020 election. And like 90+% of all these quote-unquote fact-checking outfits were all hard left Democrat Party arms.
Well,
That's surprising.
it's all BS because
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel's such a great example of he's bragged multiple times about his fact checkers, and his fact checkers let him go out and tell something that was against what the FBI had reported before that
Right.
show began.
Yeah.
It's because they don't care.
Yeah.
Yep.
They don't
And I
care.
love this-
And they've
this-
been able. It's arrogance on their part because they've been able to get away with it for such a long time. They've been able to just have the narrative, spin the narrative, make the narrative, create the narrative. So I mean, it's arrogance on their part. They
Mhm.
think that they can pretty much do anything and say anything without any type of consequences. Except now with this happening and it affecting so many Americans, not just on a on a spiritual level, on a
Mhm.
deep level, people that didn't even know who Charlie Kirk was were affected by this.
Yes.
So for them to go out and try and spin the narrative and do what they normally do, it didn't work this time because people were upset, sad, angry, uh, in complete disbelief that something like this could happen in a very public setting as well. So
Mhm.
it didn't work this time. And Jimmy Kimmel he pretty much found out. He found out it didn't
Yeah.
work this time. And there were consequences to that. And the amount of politicians and celebrities that came out to support Jimmy Kimmel when they stayed silent over the government overreach and silencing of American citizens on Facebook, on
Mhm.
Instagram. The Twitter files came out. Nobody was talking about that. And now nobody's talking about this.
Yeah.
Where are our politicians talking about this? Where are all of the celebrities talking about this? This should outrage people.
Yeah.
But no, they're just going to stay quiet. They were just there for Jimmy Kimmel. That's all that matters.
Yep.
That's it. And I mean, this was real censorship. And I'm going to bring this up here because again, this was a good point because I mentioned earlier this wasn't just YouTube, because we've already had testimony from places like Facebook, from X, Twitter before Musk bought it. Here's one John Maynard brings up: the Ben Shapiro was the largest page on Facebook. And due to the Biden administration, they said no more political commentary. I didn't remember that one.
I didn't remember that.
But it doesn't surprise me. I mean, if that's true. I mean, there were a lot of those kind of Facebook groups and Facebook page. And I mean, Facebook was just shutting down pages, groups, people. I'll tell you right now, by the end of 2020, I hadn't been on Facebook in 5 years.
Yeah, I've not been on since 2013.
That's it. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like, God, what an absolute trash fire of crap that became. And I just got tired of it. It was pointless.
I mean, I did a Google search to see if what the biggest YouTube channels that were removed during that time for spreading misinformation.
Mhm.
I don't really know some of these, but the biggest one was David Icke, if that's how it spells his name. It's in May of 2020, YouTube deleted his channel for posting misleading information about the coronavirus, and his channel had more than 900,000 subscribers.
There you go.
Another one was Dr. Joseph Mercola. His was removed in 2021. He was an anti-vaxxer, and he had nearly 500,000 followers. RFK's Juniors Group, Children's Health Defense, in 2021 was removed for posting vaccine misinformation. And then Steve Bannon was another one that was removed as well.
Yeah, remember him.
But
yeah, I mean, there were a lot of them. And okay, so you didn't like what they had to say. And maybe in some cases, maybe they were wrong. But the problem is that they were leaning so heavily on this is the official, This is the official government position on this. And again, you notice a lot of these. I think everything you just read off was in 2021.
2020 and 2021.
Okay, I wonder what point of 2020 that was, because it sounded like several of them were in 2021. Now I don't know what these people said specifically. Right now, maybe they said something that was truly awful. I have no idea. But I mean, again, I don't need to look at the specific cases, although I'd be curious to see the facts. But when you had so many other examples of people like us that would get notifications in YouTube Studio, warning, maybe in violation of YouTube guidelines for misinformation. We all saw these things. You didn't have to be, a million sub channel to get this. Now, some of these targets were really easy to make because they were big channels with lots of viewers, and they wanted, hey, we're going to start with the big guys to stop the misinformation out there, and then all the other little guys will get the message.
Yeah, it says that the company took down over 130,000 videos for violating COVID-19 vaccine policies in 2021 alone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I would bet that probably a not insignificant number of some of the claims or some of the things said, probably a lot of it had to do with things like, is this vaccine safe? Or it might have been, do we really have to wear masks? A lot of this seems like hyperbole, and we're getting really out of line here with what we're doing to not only the American people, but countries around the world. A lot of people were just making expressions like that and found themselves at the wrong end of Google and deep state, Biden administration, whatever you want to call it. Because, I mean, some of that was in operation while, Trump was in office. And again, it's one of those faults of Trump's first administration, especially trusting way too many of the wrong people, which, bit him in the ass in the end. But any case, let's see. Michelle, you got something.
Oh, well, I just pulled up in my personal opinion, the worst offender of the people coming out for Kimmel. I said this on our show. I don't count even the Mandalorian Grogu, because let's be real, he's never actually playing the Mandalorian. But I really don't know that I want to ever pay to watch another movie that this man is in, because talk about the definition of a hypocrite. This man, to this day, even after Disney has publicly apologized to Gina Carano, he has never made a public statement about her. He has never publicly supported her, because that little hypocrite knows that the group that loves him and calls him Zaddy will be upset if he supports Gina Carano. So this little loser hypocrite came out in support of Jimmy freaking Kimmel last week, but is still 4 years later is silent about someone that he considers a friend and even calls behind closed doors, but won't publicly support being Gina Carano. So I saw this and it really made me mad, because talk about being a freaking hypocrite.
That is the most upset I've ever heard Michelle. She's been hanging around me too much. That is the spiciest thing she's ever done on air. Michelle spicy, not Valiant spicy. I can get pretty bad. Michelle never get that bad, thank God. Speaking of, I'm so glad, because you gave me a perfect segue into this. And God knows, I'm going to turn the volume down, because who cares? I don't need the volume for this. But speaking of never seeing another Pedro Pascal movie again.
He still hasn't promoted it either, by the way. The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah.
Has he not?
No, he hasn't promoted it at all. Not at all.
Wait. My prediction came true. I said something weeks ago, and I think I posted it on X, or I said it on a live show. I am terrible at keeping track of what I say in predictions and stuff like this. But I a couple of weeks ago, I said, especially after Fantastic Four, I made a prediction. Let's see if we can figure out if it came true. Now, I probably get hit. Actually, you know what? Ironically, Disney, knock on wood,
they're pretty good at not hitting.
They're actually good. Yeah, they're actually really good at not hitting. which is crazy.
And in fact, Valley, we played this for our live stream Monday. They didn't mess with this.
Okay. So, just real quick, obviously, it's the first trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu. This is due out in theaters summer of 2026. Okay? Basically slotted in the same release window as Fantastic Four was this year. I think it's July. No, this one's May. This one's May.
May
Pardon
of
me.
next year.
Okay. Sorry, this is in the Lilo and Stitch slot, I think. So far, I'm right.
You mean no voice of Pedro?
Impressive.
That's the one. He says the one line, but that wasn't so much the prediction here. Starring, no Pedro face, no Pedro name, completely obliterated from public view. Now I don't know. I mean, look, Pedro was. You remember how ticked off he was that he wouldn't get his FaceTime in Mando, and in Mando season 2, we had to give Pedro FaceTime and so on and so forth. And look, the guy in the suit, obviously 99% of the time is not Pedro.
Yeah, what's his name? He is at the cons a lot. I forget his name.
I know you're talking about. There's actually 2 guys. There's him, the guy we met. There was another guy that used to do a lot of like the heavy stunt work as well. And I can't remember. Like it was like a black guy with like some dreadlocks. I remember seeing him in that suit once before. It's like, but they got a couple of stunt people that do it. But I know you're talking about. But look, okay, Forged for IMAX, which is kind of cool. I didn't know they were doing this for IMAX.
Good shot, baby.
I want to point out
the way I hate the way they run away, like literal hand puppets. Just
yeah.
I hate it.
I want to point out in this, Valiant, you and I had just talked about how much time was left when they actually brought Keanu Reeves in to do the scenes for Ballerina. How long you said it wasn't that far out before the movie was released, maybe like 6 months or so.
Yeah, that sounds about right. What they did was, I think, I don't remember if they were still shooting, and I'm trying to, because I've talked about a number of movies that had these issues lately, but I think you're right. I think they were finished, and they were like, we need
John Wick.
And they went back to the village. They filmed a few scenes in there with them. It wasn't a whole lot. You didn't really see him interact a whole lot with
I think they just have that one exchange.
Ana de Armas and he they have the one exchange at the school. Yeah. And they have the one exchange in the name of the town at the end in the third act. But then most of the stuff with Keanu is not with her. They're separate and apart, you know.
Well, the reason I bring that up is because since, again, 400 celebrities signed for, Jimmy Kimmel, I think this is an amazing opportunity. They have plenty of time. This comes out on May 26th to add a few scenes with one Cara Dune. I mean, I think they need to make that happen since, we're all about free speech, and Gina Carano posted about, not hating your political for political reasons and on her personal account. I think that would be a great olive branch to the fans to bring Cara Dune back.
I would agree. And I even said, I think right after we covered the lawsuit settlement with Gina Carano and Disney because of that language that Disney was. I mean, that language was agreed to by Disney's attorneys and Gina's attorneys,
Mhm.
that Disney had to state in their public statement, because remember, the terms of the settlement specifically are going to be sealed under an NDA forever and a day.
Hmm.
But the public statement was very specific to mention that, we look forward to working with Gina again at the nearest available opportunity or something along those lines. Again, that
I-
language was in there a little strangely. Again, this is something that lawyers would have agreed to. And I posited back then, I said, look, somebody at Disney right now is, like it or not, they're going to crunch numbers and figure out, if we put Gina in this thing, how much more money is it going to make?
Yeah.
I'm not saying she's going to be in it, but the door was opened in enough time to where, yes, potentially something either could be done or perhaps already has been done. I mean, we're not going to know for sure until next year. And probably chances are, I think it leans more to the not going to happen side, but I don't think it's as far out of the realm of possibility as it was, say, 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't want her to do it.
I understand.
Like why would she go back to a place that hates her?
Mhm.
That did all of these like terrible things to her, that slandered her. I honestly, like, I wouldn't want. I mean, it's her decision, of course. But me personally, I wouldn't want her to do it. Like, just let them fail. Just let them fall. Don't help them. They didn't help you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much like what she would be doing. She would be going in there to help them, to get more eyes on the Mandalorian and Grogu. Why are you going to go help an actor who wouldn't stand behind you? Go to a company that wouldn't stand behind you, that got rid of you first chance they could, the first chance that they got. I wouldn't want her to do it. Would people like to see her back as Cara Dune? Sure. I wouldn't, even if she went back, like, that people would go and watch it just to support Gina, but at the same time, you would almost feel gross because you're like, but I'm supporting Star Wars. Like, it would be such a dilemma.
Yeah.
Well, I think
And I
that
don't think she would want to put people in that position. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. I get that. I also think if the price was right, it's kind of, even we talked about possibly, say, Johnny Depp coming back for another Pirates movie if the price is right. If they bring, the dump truck of money to him. But with Gina, I think it's also another way of viewing it is, it's like, I won. Like, here I am.
Yeah.
Can't cancel me. Like, here I am. I'm back. So I could see it either way. But I want her to do whatever she wants to do.
Yeah.
I totally understand where you're coming from, Stephanie, but yeah. I'm a little bit more on Michelle's side. I kind of had that same thought myself. I mean, to me, Gina showing up in this movie after what was done to her is kind of like the ultimate slap in the face.
It's like you lost and cancel culture is done.
Yeah, it would really be. I mean, it would absolutely drive the people on the left batshit crazy.
Oh, they would lose their minds.
Oh, I mean, it would. I mean,
I think she can do that without going back and like doing a cameo in this movie. Honestly.
Yeah,
well, she did get a job. Yeah. We saw that last, like an actual Hollywood gig again in Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously with the settlement, you have to imagine that, because remember, it wasn't just Disney that canceled her. It was, they had everybody in Hollywood cancel her. Her agency canceled her. Her talent agency, her legal and talent representation, CAA, I think is who she was with, if memory serves. And so, I mean, it was, she was effectively blacklisted.
She's blacklisted.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, which, again, as a reminder, in California, special state statute, that's a no-no. And it goes back to the days of, when the searching for communists in Hollywood and all that kind of stuff was going on in the 50s and the 60s. And they had that special...
Apparently they didn't search hard enough because now it's filled with it.
They passed the law so that the communists could be in California. No, so, I mean... But yeah, they weaponize. I mean, Disney, tried to pull the executive creative decision, but then in so doing it, again, going back to the argument was, well, she didn't bring any of this to the show. She wasn't writing the script. She wasn't having any impact. Her personal views weren't having any impact on the writing, the directing, and the final composure and construct of the show itself. But yet Disney admitted that they fired her for her political viewpoints, which can't do that in California. I think it's the only state that has that specific law, that labor law, that she went after him under, and whoops, didn't work out for Disney too well. So any case, let me ask y'all this, and I think I already know the answer. Is this movie a smash or pass? Are we gonna go see this, or is it gonna be a no?
I admit that I'm gonna see it because, like, even when I played the trailer, I admit I did really like The Mandalorian. I liked Jon Favreau and what he was doing, and it's still my understanding to this day that it wasn't his decision to get rid of her. And let's be real, like, Kathleen Kennedy with that decision totally messed up that man's groove. He had a whole plan set up with Cara Dune having her own spinoff show. He actually had a plan, like something they were working towards, and it just got blown up. He had to redo season 3, which is why I give it grace on why it kind of sucked. Yeah. But for me, I'm gonna keep it real. That freaking little baby, he's just so cute. I can't not see him. He's so little.
Steph?
I like Babu Freak better.
Bobby Frick's I like when he says, "Come on, baby."
Hey! I'm probably not
Steph?
going to see the movie. No, I'm not going to see the movie. Honestly, I'm not going to see the movie, but something else that I want to mention about that trailer is that like Pedro Pascal, his helmet is on. He only says one word, and I'm wondering, or one phrase, and I'm wondering if it's because of all of like the backlash, I guess, or the side eyes that he received during the Fantastic Four movie promotion, because he was like touching his co-star a lot, and they were touching each other, and people found it really, really weird. When you go to his Instagram, on a lot of his photos, you would see that meme of that guy like in the car from Dexter. You know what I'm talking about? That guy. Everybody was posting, huh?
Who are you saying? Say that again.
The guy from Dexter, who's like, that one. The surprise motherfucker. That guy.
I know the show, but I don't know I haven't watched it.
Oh, it's oh my goodness.
Sorry, we're both not helping you out here.
I have to pull it up now. But no,
I see where you're going. That's what I was saying earlier.
A lot of backlash, and so his comment section was nothing but this guy.
While you're pulling it up, and I was going to say, I agree with you. That's what I was getting at earlier. That was the basis of the prediction, Steph. That the trailer, when we actually saw a Mando and Grogu trailer, I said, Pedro's face, I almost guarantee you won't be in it. They're not even going to mention him. They're not going to bring him up. Sure enough, he didn't even get a title card. It wasn't Pedro Pascal is the Mandalorian. It wasn't none of that, or the Mandalorian and Grogu starring Pedro Pascal. Let me tell you what, if Fantastic Four had pulled off $1 billion box office, and it hadn't been like the 10th highest grossing film of the year, it's a Marvel movie. It should have been one of the top 3. 5 years ago, it would have been one of the top 3. But if the performance for the Pedro movies this summer and the public backlash, the fan base, his name would have been all over it. If Fantastic Four had done $1 billion, it would Pedro Pascal is the Mandalorian. You would have had all that.
I still don't think so, because I think that stink would follow him. People are weirded out by Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because of all the others, the fact that his movies weren't that big leading up to this.
Yeah.
And to your point, they weren't that big because he's become such a weirdo. And it's just people don't. I had a post. In fact, let me see if I saved this, because I thought this was so perfect. It's like, talk about missing the freaking mark.
Well, as you look that up,
Like
Valley,
people were talking about Pedro. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh, you're okay. As you're bringing that up, you know who won the summer was Zach Kragers. He's like, thank God Pedro couldn't be in weapons.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Craig, yeah. Look, he's like, look, Warner Brothers paid me $38 million for this. I don't think Krager spent, but maybe 20 to 25 of it actually shooting, because he got a $10 million. Part of that $38 million was $10 million just for him to write and direct. It was his movie. So I mean, he didn't spend a whole lot, and then Warner Brothers made out like a bandit. Let me grab this real quick. Wonko, I don't know if you saw the early part of the show. I killed your super chat in the other, because I killed that lobby. Like, you sent in a $10 super chat into Renegade Nation, and the thing hadn't even been open 30 seconds. So thank you. But you didn't have a message on it. But for the record, I showed it earlier because we're just going to segue from here over to Renegade Nation a bit later. Just like I'm going to add it to the stream and just pop it into Renegade Nation just for simplicity. But real quick, Wonko, thank you for the $50. And here's your $10 super chat I took a picture of. It was just $9.99 with no message. So thank you, Wonko the Sane. That was over on Renegade Nation. Wonko says for $50, Michelle, go ahead.
Oh, 20 years from now, Charlie Kirk will be known as the man whose life and death rocked this country and affected real change, whereas a certain talk show host will affectionately be remembered as Jimmy Who. He knows it and he hates it. We are Charlie Kirk.
Yep.
That's right. Thank you very much, Wonko. And I'm gonna go find this tweet real quick because it goes right into this Pedro story.
All right. You want to share my screen really quickly?
Oh yeah. Hang on a second. There you go.
Oh, you found it.
So yeah, this is his whole comment section.
So what is? Hang on, I'm trying to pull this up.
Oh, why are they just doing the I see you?
Because he's weird. Like, people are like, I know there's something weird about Pedro Pascal. I just haven't figured it out yet. I haven't quite figured it out yet.
Yeah.
And that's his whole comment. That's it. That's his whole comment section. I think up until like the Jimmy Kimmel stuff, he rarely posted. He didn't post.
Here it is. Pete Davidson, which
that's so unlike Pedro Pascal.
Oh, Pedro's definitely there's something off about that dude.
Very much. This is what I was looking for. I saved this. Okay. Pete Davidson, who I still know next to nothing about. I just know he's some big name. But Pete Davidson calls out people online who hate Pedro Pascal for being in everything. I thought this was kind of fascinating. This was the pull quote. This is from Discussing Film. Quote, he's worked so hard. He's been a struggling actor. Blows up so effing hard. Everyone's like daddy. Hang on. I don't think everyone was like daddy. There were some of y'all out there, some of y'all freaks out there that was like, he's daddy. No, for most of normal America, he was just an idiot.
Well, and then they don't even call him just daddy. It's Zaddy with the Z. He's the Zaddy of America.
What is that? How does this?
Steph, can you explain Zaddy better than me?
he Pedro and his team went with your cool slutty daddy. Like that's what they coined him. He was saying it for a long time. He would put it out there on his own. I am your cool slutty daddy. Like that was him and his team pushing that narrative. When it started backfiring during Fantastic Four, he tried to shift the narrative, like shift the title over to I'm your uncle, like to your uncle. I can't remember, something uncle. He tried to shift it, but it was done. It was over. People were noticing how weird he was, how weird it was for them to be calling him daddy, a slutty
I want to
daddy.
remind everyone that this is absolutely not gay.
Yep.
Zaddy is just an older one, an older guy, an older sexy man. Zaddy.
I actually recommend if they want to try to keep his status as being heterosexual, he should have joined Will Smith in his new video, I Like Girls.
Oh, God.
Oh my goodness.
Starring Pedro Pascal and Will Smith.
That was so bad. I'm glad I lost that video, like with him dancing in London, trying to get the crowd to know who he was. Anyway, back to this Pete Davidson quote. Listen to this. So he blows up like everyone's like daddy, and then a year later, he's like in everything now because he's big, and everyone like, go the F away, dude. Pete Davidson talks like a 12-year-old. It's like what
It's like
the
a girl.
F, dude? I know. You've got to give someone time to adjust to that new level of fame. So here's the thing. Ladies, I think we kind of covered it, but I want us to put a pin in it here. Is everybody really frustrated or annoyed that Pedro's in everything, or are people annoyed he's in everything when he acts the way he does?
I think it's a mix, because I remember there was like a time period, and I mean, now people have different feelings on Ryan Reynolds. I remember there's a time period when he started to be in everything, and it was like he's starting to be a little overexposed. I think all actors kind of in their moments where they're like really kind of breaking through, they can almost get overexposed. But I mean, Pedro, Steph probably knows off her head. I mean, there was that one weekend where he was in like three movies at one time at the box office. It was just way too much for any actor. And then on top of that, he acts the way he acts.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in Eddington, Fantastic Four, and The Materialists.
That's right. That was the other one.
All in theaters at one time. Yeah.
Yeah. And it really was. I mean, and the jokes about him being in everything were one thing, but the problem is that, and this is where I think Pete Davidson is just off the mark. Nobody went to go see any of these movies. I mean, not really.
No.
I mean, Fantastic Four was the best of the Marvel movies this year. They've had 3, and their best barely cracked $500 million.
Did the Materialist not make money? Because it wasn't at fairly low budget.
I'd have to go back and pull it up. I remember Eddington's opening weekend.
Oh, that was a bomb. That was a bomb.
And Eddington came out like 2 weeks before Fantastic Four. And at that point, we're like, it's screwed, because the Pedro fatigue is real. And this is where he was peak. I mean, you remember he was showing up to red carpet events wearing looking like a stupid little 7-year-old kid that dressed himself. Yeah. Half from his dad's closet and half from like Baby Gap.
Then he put up looking like a pirate to D23.
I mean, the guy obviously has some serious developmental issues, in my opinion, some developmental issues. And
then you had the weird touching of Vanessa Kirby.
Well, yeah, and it's anxiety and all this. And it's like, okay. I mean, part of me is kind of almost believes it now, because he's so screwed in the head otherwise. You look at the rest of his behavior. I mean, I think there's a lot of things broken in that man's head. I mean, when he gets on screen, he seems to do okay, but good Lord. I mean, this is a weirded out dude. But yeah, I think people just got tired of him because he was so weird. And they were putting him everywhere. And then the more he went everywhere, the more exposure he got, the more people started seeing him outside of movies, and the more people realized how weird this guy is. But by that point, it's too late, because when you're talking about things like a motion picture, even a small film like Materialist or Eddington, you're talking about something that is kind of booked and done. I mean, you're talking a 2 to 3 year gestational period from the time you sign somebody like Pedro to the time you get something out on a screen. So by this point, you think about all these movie studios that booked Pedro for this and that, and right now they're all like, oh, shit. It's like they can kind of see what's coming, the writing's on the wall. And again, going back to why I bring this up, I think this is one of the primary reasons that prediction about that Mando and Grogu trailer came true. And again, that was a little bit more than just a teaser. That was a minute and a half. I mean, it's not quite a full 2-minute trailer, but it ain't a 30-second teaser either. I
Well,
mean,
you
it was
know, there were reports, and I have it on pretty good authority that him and John Favreau definitely butted heads a decent amount on the set of Mandalorian.
yeah. I think a lot of us probably covered that a couple of years ago. I think that
Mhm.
had a lot to do with the fact that there was a point, especially following the first season, when Pedro was, I mean, he was upset. He was in the helmet all the time. Remember, and that's when he decided he didn't want to. Well, fine. You don't need me there. Just get the stunt guy to do it. They're like, fine. We're not even going to argue with you. He wanted more speaking lines, more this, more that, more FaceTime on the camera. And it's like, that's not the character, bro. That's
Yeah, he's very quiet.
not the character.
Yeah.
The helmet's on. You know, the one time he took it off because he had to take it off to be
Get the
saved. Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay, but then they kind of kept going on and on and on with it. It's like, how many more times can we do? We can see what it's like. It's meaningless now. And again, we all know what happened. By the time we got to season 3, it was just the whole thing fell apart. But again,
and remember in season 3, he gets redeemed by like going in the waters. But point being, he was redeemed, and he's supposed to be keeping that mask on, the helmet on.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even think I saw a third of season 3.
Well, point being,
I couldn't do it.
The way they did it, I don't think he's
was so
supposed to be
bad.
taking the helmet off in the movie.
I
Yeah.
didn't watch past like the second episode of season 1.
You guys did get to Jack Black.
Oh.
I remember turning
and
on
what's her name? The singer.
Lizzo.
Lizzo.
I actually watched that episode because when people told me about it, I said, "You're a liar. You're a damn liar. That did not happen. Stop giving me AI images. There is no way." Finally, I was like, "Oh my God, they really did do this." It was at that point I'm like, that is it. The wheels have come completely off the bus. This is over. And then now we're going to this, $200 million production. And look, granted, some of the shots look cool.
Mhm.
You got the ATs slipping off the side of a canyon and all this kind of stuff. So, okay, but I mean, I don't want to go spend $40, on 2 PLF tickets, $50 on 2 IMAX tickets to go see a couple of cool shots in frankly a series, even a Disney Star Wars series that I've lost interest in completely.
Mhm.
Even the John Favreau one. This is probably going to be a pass for me. But part of me is still like, this audience is going to, want me to talk about it. So I don't know. It's still a year away. I don't have to make a decision anytime soon, but my if it was just me personally, no,
Yeah.
don't care. Do not care. Completely lost interest in this. And I think
I love the baby. They got me.
Well, it's funny. It's like, that's what I think. Who else said that? It was,
It was probably a girl.
I think it was Anna. I think
Yeah,
it was,
probably
I think it was,
Anna.
Yeah, Anna
yeah,
loved Baby Yoda.
I think it was Anna that brought that up.
Well, that was like the only thing they actually did that drew in the female audience was Baby Yoda.
Yeah. Well, and it may still. I don't know how much that has worn off. I mean, it was
Yeah.
a big fad at one point, and it brought in a lot of normies. I don't know. Do you get the normies back at this point? Because I mean, it's been 5 years since Luke Skywalker walked on that screen in 2020.
Yeah.
It'll be
was gonna
5 and a
say, this
half
movie is
years
way
by the
too
time
late.
this movie comes out. They haven't watched anything since.
Yeah, this movie is way too late.
It is, Steph. I agree.
Way too late. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Well, and that's let's go back to that would be the dysfunction of one Kathleen Kennedy as to why this is so late.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, considering, it goes back to what they did to Gina. I mean, that probably killed everything for at least a solid year.
Yeah, it did.
With everything that they had, kind of figured out for that. So,
And then I just want to point out the chat saying they're seeing a lot of ads. I don't know if that means
I
anything
just
to you.
went back and checked it.
Okay.
I forgot to switch them. I forgot to switch them back to manual. I just fixed it. Sorry, guys. I just fixed it. But thanks again to Wonko for that one. Really appreciate you. We're going to get back here. Let me grab some of these super chats. We got to grab some of these from earlier. All right, Michelle Archer Merchant for 5.
Crazy hypothetical, probably unlikely, but what if Eisner weighed in to pull a Chapek on Iger and get board CEO? Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Who is Eisner?
Michael Eisner.
Michael Eisner.
Okay, what is his role?
He was the former CEO that Bob Iger ousted back in 2005.
Okay.
Really, the Disney board did it, but at Bob Iger pushing for it. So here's the thing, though. Eisner came out this past week in support of Disney and Jimmy Kimmel and wanting him to put it back in, administration, FCC bad and all this kind of stuff. So I don't see that's what's going to happen. But Archer, just for this, I don't know, Michelle probably doesn't get the joke, so I'll do it for you. Ready? Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. There you go, Archer.
Oh, is it from the history of
Monty Python's Flying Circus?
So it's not the movie; it's one of the TV shows.
Monty Python's Flying Circus was the TV show for Monty Python.
Oh, okay. I've not seen the TV show.
Okay, so you got to look up Monty Python Spanish Inquisition.
Okay.
Actually, I'll pull it up here in a second. I'm sure I could play a 10-second clip from that is all you need. I doubt I'll get hit for that. Let's see. Tennessee Tornado for 5.
I'll throw in an extra 10 if you do the first 5 minutes in mime.
I can't mime. I'm not gay. I'm sorry. Archer Merchant for 2.
The ultimate Iger humiliation. Eisner returning.
Yeah, that'd be kind of funny, but dude, Eisner, look, that dude is so checked out. He's so retired. He ain't coming back. That's a whole other story. But I get what you're saying. Thank you, Archer. Tennessee Tornado, thank you for the gifted membership. And Wonko, thank you for the gifted channel membership. And I know we got Araxis's 5 gifted memberships earlier in the show. Thank you very much, Araxis. We appreciate you out there. Lightning Sketch for 5.
Anything possible, perhaps Eisner will return even temporarily to right the ship.
You guys are like, wait, how did I do that? I thought it was on the other screen. You guys out there are just all up on Michael Eisner today. This is Hillis Mallory for $20.
Happy birthday, Steph.
There we go.
Thank you.
And Hillis Mallory for 2. Oh,
mic check, tap, tap, tap.
you know what? You guys are, y'all are not fair. I know. I deserve it. I'm never going to live that down. What did that go on for, like 5 minutes? Wait,
I was here for that stream, and I was in the back like, Valiant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Stop.
This is terrible. Yeah, it just went on, and I had no idea. Okay, I've got the Spanish Inquisition thing skewed up. All right. This one's yours, Michelle. It's from your channel, right?
Yes,
Rogie.
Rogie. I missed your answer to my question. You were muted, but it's okay. HB Steph. What was your question, Rogie?
I think that was the joke. I didn't see it earlier super chat. Because I saw when he sent this in, and I'm like, I'm scrolling back, and I'm like, I'm not falling for this. Thank you, Rogie. If you really did send in another question, StreamYard did not get it. So that one was not on me, but I'll go back and look. Tennessee Tornado for 2.
Happy birthday from everyone at Bennigan's.
Where is there a Bennigan's? Are they still around?
I think
Or is
there
he
are
joking?
a few in the U.S.
Oh, I miss Bennigan's. My dad used to take me there. Flying Blind as an 11-month member.
11 months, groovy.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for being a member here. Hillis Mallory for 2.
The beer bug. Yes, that's what we had to call it.
Weird for 5. Let me get with this one. Valiant, your mission is to watch Glitch's new show and give it an honest review. Do you accept this mission? I don't know what Glitch is. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
You're going to have to help me out with that one. I don't really do reviews, so I don't want to. I mean, If it's like a 200 episode anime show or something like that, I can't. I don't have time. I haven't even got to the theater to see Infinity Castle yet, for Pete's sake. I'm so mad. I know. I'm really. I have half a mind to try to go tomorrow afternoon before I get home, because this weekend too much going on. The previous weekend I was in Tennessee, running around doing too much stuff up there, and then and I thought I was going to go see it with my oldest daughter. She didn't even get to go see it until like 2 nights ago, which I was shocked, because we were like going to try to wait to get together to go see it. I'm going to go see her Saturday at college, so I'm thinking if we can bug out for a little bit and go catch it. But every time I went to go try to find an IMAX show that was at a time that I could get, there wasn't one. They had like 1 or 2 IMAX shows a day, and it was always when I could not get there. It was driving me bonkers. I still got to get to go see it. It's driving me crazy. 2 penny puppet for 5.
Remember, there were names we weren't allowed to say, that whistleblower and the other we weren't allowed to acknowledge.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
There were names we weren't allowed to say. That's true. Yeah.
John Maynard, thanks for the 21-month member chat. We got that one earlier. Eric Heffelfinger for $20.
No more ignoring congregational subpoenas.
Congressional. I see what you mean.
Congressional, there we go.
Yeah.
Yes. Subpoenas. They dragged this out until after the election. The censorship started during COVID, pre-Biden. Answer the call or get arrested and have the stuff seized by force.
I mean, that's, yeah. I mean, look, hopefully this will never happen again. Because I'll put it this way. If it does happen again, people are going to recognize it very quickly. I mean, there's not going to be denying that it's going on again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if there's enough overwhelming evidence that at least there's a connection. I mean, we knew people were getting canceled. We could see their pages getting disappeared. It was a matter of, is the pressure being brought down from above? Which at the time seemed like it absolutely was. And sure enough, that's what happened. Haywood is out there gifting a Valiant channel membership. Thank you very much. And Archer for 2.
How does it feel to have been right about YouTube? Good.
Yes.
But good but bad, because you wish it didn't happen at all.
Yeah. Yep. Archer Merchant for another 2.
Real mystery. Who plays Pedro's BF?
Boyfriend. Boyfriend or best friend? I don't know, but I think it's probably the same.
Butt friend.
Her butt friend.
Oh, gosh.
Packing protons
They all
for
just kind
5.
of blend there.
I know.
Happy birthday, Steph. I'd take you out to dinner, but I have to cross state lines. I bet. Smiley.
Thank you.
Thank you, Packing. Eric K for 2.
Happy birthday, Steph.
So
Thank
getting all the
you.
accolades tonight. Tennessee Tornado for 2.
Please, please, please put Gina in Spaceballs too. Now that would be good.
I love
Oh, that
this
would
idea.
be great.
Yes.
This is Tennessee. I saw the super chat earlier, and I was like, oh, I want to get to this one. This is a great idea.
Mhm.
This is actually a really, really good idea.
And make Disney cancel her in the movie.
That would be so good. Just have President Scroob do it if Mel Brooks is going to be in the movie. He's probably not. But I don't know. That would be a great idea, though.
But you know, Lord Helmet's back. The dude who
Rick
played Lord
Moranis.
Helmet. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm very, very cautiously optimistic about
I
that
am, because
film.
of who's writing the script.
Remind me.
It's Josh Gad's, like one of the main writers.
Oh, that's right.
Frickin'
That's
Olaf.
right. I forgot. Yeah, it is Josh Gad. Oh, God. God help us. Michael Steele for 2 Canadian.
I won't even raise the Roger to see this movie.
Well, there you go. Haywood for 2.
Is this a made-up word? Doex? Eric King?
Oh, Dokes from Dexter.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Dokes. Okay,
Dokes.
that's Dexter guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And let's grab one more here, and then we'll get back to the news here. Albertus Magnus for 5.
Let's not forget that without a terminally cute baby Yoda, Mando never sees season 2. Michelle captures the vibe of it. I saw the D-Land at the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's more or less. I mean, that's what did it. That surprise. But then they killed it all. They completely
with
killed
Gina.
all of it. Gina, and then season 3 and Book of Boba Fett did enormous damage.
Yes.
To it. I mean, people checked out hard after that one. I mean, what was Mando season 3? What did it get like? I don't even remember if it was about half the average audience of season 2.
It's my understanding he even kind of went the Boba Fett route because he was still beefing with Pedro Pascal.
Maybe. Well, I mean, we knew after season 2, especially like Pedro, that's when he really amped up the I don't want to do this anymore because I'm not on camera kind of thing. And I mean, there were so many stories out there. I mean, we were all covering it on YouTube. This is probably 4 years ago now. It was in 21 and into 22. All that was going on. Let me see here. I think. Wait, let me make sure I've got this one. I think this might be it. All right. So you wanted to see the Spanish Inquisition bit. I have a short clip of it. Because why not? This is the dumb stuff that I do on this show here. Now remember, this is like from the 70s, so we don't have 4K here, guys. But this is it. Michael Palin, Eric Idle.
Now, old woman.
Wait, did they cut out the...
I don't understand what I'm accused of.
And we shall make you understand. Cardinal. Poker with the soft cushion. Confess! Confess! Have you got all the stuffing up on end?
Yes, Lord.
It was so stupid, but it was perfect Monty Python stuff. But there's a line, I don't know if they had it in this clip. I grabbed this one because it was the shortest one. Oh, wait. No, we have to do this. This is the one. When the pillow wasn't working, one of the greatest bits, the comfy chair.
Biggles, put her in the comfy chair!
The comfy chair?
Now, you will stay in the comfy chair until lunchtime.
I mean, I think they're cutting out the nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition line. Anyway.
I confess! Not you!
I mean, it's just the whole thing is just a goofball. Anyway, go watch the full ones out. They're out there on YouTube.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's one of the best sketches. Like it was an ongoing sketch. I think for several years they probably had 4 or 5 of them that they did on Flying Circus. But yeah. Okay. So let's see. We got Star Wars. We got Pedro. We got what am I? Oh. Okay. Explain this stupid Tylenol thing to me.
Oh man, Steph brought this to my attention, so I'll let Steph go.
I saw this morning. Wait, I got a thing for it. Before we get to the full blown, let's torch Jimmy Kimmel and what really happened here. I want to get to this stupid Tylenol thing because I was like, what on earth? How did this? There was something Trump said.
Yeah, it was the announcement. Remember, he alluded to an announcement at Charlie Kirk's funeral or memorial, and then they made the announcement with RFK that they found a link to women taking Tylenol while they're pregnant to a rise in autism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I did. Okay. So like this is kind of like RFK's thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it led to an very increased risk in autism if you took Tylenol while pregnant.
Okay. So and now we've got, and I don't even know if I had so many things saved today from this ICE issue. But so now are pregnant women doing a Tylenol challenge on TikTok?
Multiple people are. Honestly,
this?
I knew that there was going to be some type of pushback on TikTok, maybe. And like that night, I went to TikTok to see, and that night there weren't as many as there are now, but there were still some, including like from what I saw. just a couple of pregnant women doing it. But there were people that weren't pregnant that were just taking Tylenol just to spite Trump. But now you see more pregnant women doing it. You see more pregnant women going out there taking Tylenol, saying like, I don't care. The orange man's not going to tell me what to do. I'll believe my doctor, my OB. But yeah, they're taking Tylenol.
I wish Trump would come out tomorrow and tell all the liberals that he believes that men can be women. We would end so many problems by Tuesday next week, because everything that Trump says, these people will do the opposite no matter what it is.
Well, and I can pull up some videos next, but people went back and found that on the official Tylenol account, which, by the way, the left now, the left, even Jimmy Kimmel even brought up Tylenol last night. They're very angry about this.
Yeah.
Tylenol, people overdose on Tylenol every year. I believe I posted, there's 56, you can Google this easy, 56,000 per year emergency visits due to Tylenol. We have always known that Tylenol, if taken a lot, guys, I'm not saying just you take Tylenol when you really need it for a fever, things like that, but that it does kill the liver. That's been a known fact for a long time. But yes, people found this in 2017. We actually don't recommend using any of our products while pregnant. Thank you for taking the time to voice your concerns today. But I can pull up, because again, Steph's the one who brought it to my attention.
Yeah, go for it.
But there are all kinds of, here, I'll find one that I
saw somebody had posted like a panel of, there was 4 or 5 things the official Tylenol account had said over the years about it's not recommended during pregnancy, not recommended during pregnancy. So I didn't understand what the
Consult
outrage
your doctor. It even says it on the Tylenol bottle. Consult your doctor. And it's not like Trump said, stop, do not take Tylenol at all. He says, limit your Tylenol intake. If you don't need to take it, if you don't need it, if it's not medically necessary, maybe you can tough it out, which is totally fine to say, right? Yeah. In my mind, women, when they are pregnant, they are already limiting intake of certain things that they can eat while pregnant. Limit caffeine. Don't drink soda. Limit your coffee intake. Limit, you can't drink alcohol at all. There's certain vegetables, certain fruits that you can eat, certain fish that you can eat. You can't eat sushi. Like, there's a lot of things that pregnant women stay away from. This is just something that they're saying, please try not to take it unless it's medically necessary. Like, you cannot handle the pain. Try and limit, because we found a link to autism. Yeah. Right. A very simple request. And I would think that, like, if you are pregnant, you don't want to risk any harm on your child. Right. You don't want to take any risks when it comes to the living being that is growing in your belly. Like, that's what I would think. Right. Yeah. But then you have all of these TDS women, extreme leftist women that are like, Trump's not going to tell me what to do. I'm just going to take Tylenol. And I doubt they even needed it. They're just taking it so they can film themselves taking Tylenol.
Well, what they don't even realize, forget the autism thing for a second, because again, not a woman, never been pregnant, but I'm married to one that has 3 times. And I can tell you, I mean, beyond that, it's, one of the other reasons I, limit the Tylenol intake is because whatever mom takes, the baby's getting too. Yeah. So, you go too hot on Tylenol one day, hey, your liver probably filter it out. Don't do it every day, but that's the point. Because the acetaminophen it's difficult for the liver to process. That's why they say that. But the baby's getting a hot dose in there too. And that baby doesn't have the filtration system to handle a lot of hard. And look, women face that. They can, normal diets for women. I mean, like half the women out there when they're pregnant at some point will be hitting the mark for gestational diabetes, because the body just shift. My wife went through it. It's like, no. I mean, it's like, you're not like you're going to be a permanent diabetic, but I mean, when you're pregnant, your body changes. Surprise. Yeah. So it's like it stops. You can't eat the same stuff, and it's like, well, you got to back off on this and this, because you're going to get. That's why they call it gestational diabetes, because it's something that's basically temporary, but it's going to have an impact on the baby too. So, I mean, it's just normal stuff. But to me, it's like every time, Trump says something,
Breathe. Air. Good.
And I mean, look, Trump gets involved in things I wish he wouldn't. Like, we'll get to this in a minute. I wish he would shut up about the Jimmy Kimmel thing. It's like, dude, look, the free market won. The more he talks about it, I think the more he muddies up the waters and gives the left more ammo. I wish he'd stop. But that being said, it's like when he says stuff like, hey, I don't even know what brought up the conversation, honestly, with Tylenol, how this even came out of Trump's mouth. But whatever. He said, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this while you're pregnant. Well, you got all the TikTok women just swallowing bottles of Tylenol now because, Trump the asshole or something. I mean, it is bizarre.
Well, I've got a video if we want to watch one of them.
Oh yeah, I see. I've seen this one. All right, go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, there's many of them like this though. Like you can just take your pick.
Weird. Yeah.
28 weeks pregnant. You know what I'm gonna take? Some Tylenol, acetaminophen. It's gonna work like a charm.
How many did she just put in her hand?
Oh,
I thought she got like a handful of them.
But like,
I talked about this on my stream. It's so funny because when you talk about Tylenol, you just say Tylenol, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to take Tylenol. I need a Tylenol. It is very rare that someone will say, do you have any acetaminophen? Do you have acetaminophen?
Yeah, the pharmaceutical
you have
name.
acetaminophen? And the reason they're saying I'm taking acetaminophen, they make a point to mention acetaminophen is because when Trump was making this announcement, he wasn't able to pronounce acetaminophen. He couldn't say it. Like he had to ask like acetaminophen. He was having trouble saying it. That's why they keep saying acetaminophen because they're trying to make fun like, oh, see, I can say it. There are some women that are saying like, I'm not going to take advice from a guy who can't pronounce acetaminophen. Like that's why they keep saying acetaminophen. And the whole time I'm thinking, do they think that Trump is like just making this up? Do they think that he's the one that did all of this research on his own? And he's just making it up and saying like, oh, look, I think I found it, myself, just me. No, there were people that did this study, that did this workup for him. He's just making the announcement. And they think, oh, no, Trump said this. No, I'm not going to take my advice from the orange man who can't even say acetaminophen. Like it's really ridiculous that these women are doing this. They're using their babies to make a political point. They're risking their baby having autism. When they found a link, they said it could be linked to autism. I strongly advise you please limit your intake on Tylenol. And they're just like, I'm going to use my baby to make a political statement, possibly risk something, but I don't believe it, so it's fine. I don't believe it. It's coming from Trump, so it can't be true.
That's just it. What I found was a little amusing is I watched this video a little bit more closely when you just played it. I thought she was like pouring a whole handful. I think she took one.
Yeah, she took one.
One.
Yeah.
Now, typically, every dosage of Tylenol I've ever taken, it's usually like 200 milligrams or 4. I forget what it is. But you usually, when you take those things, you take 2 if you're an adult per dose. She took half the recommended dose. So either she didn't look at the bottle on the instructions or she thought, just in case he's right, I'll only take one. I mean, it just occurred to me, it's like she took one.
Yeah.
I've never taken a single tab of Tylenol. It's always been like 2. Like when you take Motrin, which is, the ibuprofen, which is kind of like a Tylenol alternative. That's why they say, doctor, you can take Motrin when you're pregnant because it doesn't have the same type of impact on your liver that Tylenol does. Because it's an anti-inflammatory. But I mean, I've never taken a single Motrin. It's always like 2. You take 2 Advil, you take 2 Motrin, you'll take 2 Tylenol pills. I don't know. Just bringing that up. But I mean, it's like total TDS, Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah. We'll see, like, even if they like, let's say one of these women who made one of these videos takes Tylenol even harder, right? throughout the remaining of her pregnancy. Yeah. She's just like, you know what? If I stub my toe, taking a Tylenol. Bite my tongue, taking a Tylenol, just to spite Trump. And then her baby does come out with some level of autism, I guarantee you she will find a way to blame Trump for it because I said this on my stream earlier.
Baby
I was
might
like,
come out with liver damage.
yeah, she's probably going to be like, you know what? If Trump was more professional, if he handled business correct, then maybe I would have taken him even more seriously and my baby would have been fine. I did this because he handled his presidency. So they would find a way to shift accountability onto Trump. Like that's how mentally deranged these people are.
Yeah. It's spectacular. One last entertainment story here that I wanted to get to, and I don't know if you guys had seen this. Before we gonna get hard into the Jimmy Kimmel stuff here, this one probably won't take too long because when we get to the Jimmy Kimmel stuff, I'm gonna bring in Renegade Nation here as well. I'm gonna open up the other channel. Let me get. Here we go. Wrong screen. This is. I had a feeling this was coming. And I saw, because I have Apple TV Plus, and I don't watch everything on Apple TV Plus. They do have some really good shows on there. They do some really good stuff. I got to give Apple credit. When they make good stuff, it is really freaking good. And when they make stuff that's bad, I mean, whatever shows they buy, man, they Amber Heard that stuff. All right, so this is one of them. And I'm going to get to this article here. Obviously, Jessica Chastain is a little perturbed that her brand new multi-million-dollar show that she's a star in, that I'm sure she was expecting to win a boatload of Emmys for, and we'll tell you why, has now been indefinitely postponed from release.
Oh, is it indefinitely postponed?
I to my knowledge, I mean, Apple.
Well, there's no date set to put it out.
This show is coming out like in a week.
I want to say September 28th is what I read, maybe.
Yeah, this weekend.
Weekend,
The show was supposed to. It was because I was watching. The minute I saw a trailer for this role, like a couple of weeks ago, I turned on Apple TV. When did I see? Oh. It's when they dropped the big trailer for this when F1 dropped. So when because F1 is still not on physical yet, they wanted to take it to Apple TV first. I was like, fine. Supposed to get my physical media sometime around Christmas. Apple, F1, Warner Brothers, and we turned on Renegade Junior and I went to go watch F1 again because we freaking love that movie. And then we saw a trailer for this rolling before we started. I was like, what is this? Oh, they made like a spy thriller with it. Wait, what? Huh? So if you don't know the premise of the show, the trailer gives it away to an extent, but we got confirmation on what it is. I'm going to get back to that article here in a second. I'm going to pull up because we had a quote here from Variety. Variety actually released their review for this because the review embargo.
It lifts tomorrow.
Well, I think it lifted today.
I thought it was tomorrow. I thought it was the 25th.
Oh, no, I don't know. But Variety had posted this. Disparu pulled a pull quote from it. And you can read my post up here. I knew it. It was total left-wing propaganda fantasizing that conservative white men are the biggest terrorist threat in the country. In light of Charlie Kirk being murdered by another leftist terrorist and the absolute preponderance of evidence from whom the overwhelming violence is wrought, Apple would be wise to permanently bury this show in a digital black hole. Unless they want to be ridiculed forever. That was my statement on this. Disper posted this, and this was the pull quote from the Variety key. This is it. Apple is making a huge mistake. So I don't want to read through their whole review, but this is the key. Having watched the 8-episode series, this is Variety magazine for review, which was set to be under embargo. Okay, you're right, Steph, till September 25th. So tomorrow, you were right. It's clear that the Savant is precisely the type of show America needs right now. It looks at a sector of mostly white male individuals who believe that America belongs to them, fueled by hate, bigotry, xenophobia, and misogyny. They talk cruelly and candidly online about enacting harm and violence towards individuals or, quote, others who they feel are unworthy of being in, quote, their country. Nowhere in the show does it mention Donald Trump's name other than depicting white nationalists in a negative light. In other words, let me tell you why Apple pulled this show. Because probably one of the chief big bad guys in this show was named something like Barley Chirk. Okay?
Yeah.
It's like you could it's all over it. And as soon as I saw the preview for this, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be this is going to be, pardon my French, this is going to be a leftist wet dream of BS on how the right is violent. And Jessica Chastain, who is the principal on the show, the lead actress on the show. It's basically her show, from what I can tell. Pull the article back up. And so here's the setup. Get ready for it. You could pretty much set your watch by it. White woman living in suburban America, interracial family, married to a black guy, interracial kids. And then she sits on her computer and she hunts down white MAGA terrorists. It's the show. Apple, to their credit, threw this thing out the airlock this week because this would have been really bad timing. Jessica Chastain and Apple are not on the same page. This is from Deadline magazine. When it comes to the streamer's decision to postpone the release. And again, Apple has said postpone. They have not announced when it will be unpostponed, just to be clear. After careful consideration, we, Apple, have made the decision to postpone the Savant, a spokesperson said Tuesday in a statement to Deadline. We appreciate your understanding and look forward to releasing the series at a future date. Let me be clear. This isn't Marvel. They're not reshooting it. I mean, at least that's not the intention. They may have to now. But this wasn't for reshoots. It wasn't for bad audience test screenings. This was because this would have been an absolute disaster. I'll put it this way. Everybody, Stephanie and Michelle, everybody in our YouTube community, on YouTube, I mean, would have made a fortune tearing this show apart for the next few months.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would have made an absolute fortune tearing this show apart. And I Disbrew, probably the most pissed of all when he posted this. I think he was really looking forward.
Oh, he was looking forward to it.
Ripping this one a new one. Oh, good Lord. And they say, again, we'll look forward to releasing the series at a future date. I promise you right now, if they're going to be able to release this, they're probably going through this thing with a fine-tooth comb, and they're going to be chopping bits and hunks out of this thing. Yeah.
That's what I think. I think they're editing it out. If they did have a Charlie Kirk type character, then they're trying to edit that character out in some way.
Barley Kirk.
If they had like this character who is right wing conservative, who is incredibly religious, they could look at that character and be like, oh, that's too close to Charlie Kirk, and then edit that character out. Jessica Chastain, she's really angry about it. She's saying that like this is something that America needs right now. Yes, she was looking forward to playing that white liberal woman taking down all of the white men, all of the evil white men. This is nothing but propaganda. It's just telling you that the real enemy of the country is the white patriot. That is the true enemy of the country, the one that lives for God, guns, and country. Those are the real evil patriots. I feel like I would put this probably in the category, the same category as that movie Adolescence. That it doesn't matter what age, if they are white, they will hurt you. It doesn't matter at what age these white men are. They can be young or they can be older, but the white man is the devil. And they want to get rid of you. They want to hurt you. They'll never be on your side. The white man evil, white man bad. It's really ridiculous. It's propaganda. It's more propaganda. Yeah. Disguised as entertainment.
Yeah.
Well, and Apple is so right in taking this off, because especially with, I mean, we not that there is never any right-wing violence, but like all the last violence, unless I'm wrong, you guys correct me, has not been right-wing.
The concentration, severity, frequency of it is very, very one-sided. I mean, no, it's like, well, the people say, well, the right does this and the right does that. Let's look back historically here. And especially when you kind of deconstruct look, think about the numbers here. People saying, well, there's been more violence from the right than the left. The problem is that who's writing the statistics? You got people like Jimmy Kimmel, who are still, in his heart of hearts, still believes it was MAGA that shot Charlie Kirk, because he came out and he said it on television. He didn't even apologize for that. We'll get there in just a second. But the thing this morning with the ICE detention center, immediately, right wing. Nope, not. But these people are still going to swear forever that it was. So it's like, how much of this made up stuff are we going to go with? But I mean, this whole show was predicated on this continued. And I bet how many times in this show were they going to use the word, like you said, right-wing extremists, neo-Nazis, the right Nazis, Nazi. I mean, again, this is the kind of language that the left has weaponized in terms of, not that words are weapons, folks, or words are violence. They're not. But I mean, when you weaponize language to say that you're conditioning one side to believe that the other side is literally Hitler, and then you wonder why we wind up with things like Charlie Kirk and stuff that we had today with ICE agents. But just the last,
they put that out there, like at the beginning, like today with the ICE shooting. They'll be like, oh, right wing, because more people are tuning in as when it's happening, right? It's very rare that they will tune in later on to find out what the truth actually is. But when they hear, you get like peak viewership as it's happening. And it's kind of like the Stephen King thing when he put out that wrong opinion about Charlie Kirk. Millions of people saw that.
Yeah.
Millions of people saw that tweet from Stephen King.
Oblivion. Yeah.
And not as many people saw his follow-up tweets.
No.
Right?
No.
Correcting that information. Same thing with this. At the height of what is happening, especially like with the ICE shooting, more people are going to tune in, more people are going to look it up, and they're going to initially see the news reporting it as, oh, it could possibly be MAGA, and that's what's going to stick in their head. That's what's going to stick in their head. It's like, oh, well, I heard it was this, and all that. As fast as information flies right now, nowadays, that's going to spread like wildfire. Not the correction. That might spread a little bit slower.
Yeah.
The correct information will spread a little bit slower, but immediately, that's why they have to get it out really, like, right away. It could be MAGA, possible MAGA connection, possible the shooter could be, well, the shooter's white, possible MAGA, we're waiting.
Yeah, well, we're gonna talk about that on Renegade Nation. I want to bring this up just to
and I do know, I believe Steph's got to get going.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
No problem. Well, look, Stephanie, thank you for spending your birthday time with us tonight.
Of course.
And happy birthday again.
Yes, happy birthday to the lovely Steph.
Let me make sure, because I know we got some super chats in here that I think were for you. Let me try to skip past them. And Michelle, I got to get you added as an admin back here.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got here from 16-Bit Mascot. Ahoy, Valiant Michelle and Steph. Hope you're all well. And then we've got, let's see. Here we go. JPS for 2. All right, take it away, Michelle.
Happy birthday, Steph. Why is Pedro gay?
He just is.
He just is. Let's see. Because I think we got most of the birthday ones earlier. Wait, is this birthday? Oh, no, this was for my birthday. Marcus says for 2, did you buy your birthday gift yet, VR? No, I haven't. I did not get a chance last weekend. Way too much going on. I'm going this weekend. So I'm going to actually try to plan to go hopefully Saturday. I do have to go visit oldest daughter at college. They're talking about my new Staccato 9mm pistol. So I have to do, because again, it was part of the Staccato fund from Staccato DDS. So I still need to go do that. But I have not had time yet. It's coming. Trust me. Oh, wait, we'll get that one later. Here we go. Anita, Amanda, hugging, kissing lips.
Happy birthday, Steph. Mish, oh la la. Where is Natalie? Natalie is probably doing. No, actually, I know where she is. She's out with a friend tonight. She's having fun. She's living life.
Ah, cool.
Living it up.
She is living it up.
Let's see. Okay, I think that's all the ones for Steph. Steph, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I appreciate you being here, and thank you so much.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care. All right. I just wanted to read this one last part from this, just to kind of put a pin on this, because I thought this was such an interesting topic. In the last 5 years, this is Jessica Chastain saying this. Okay, this is her quote about the Apple canceling the Savant that was coming out in like 3 days. In the last 5 years since we've been making the show, we've seen an unfortunate amount of violence in the United States. The kidnapping attempt on Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. And if you recall,
Wasn't that like a fake thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
The January 6th attack on the Capitol. Also, a lot of questions on that one.
Well, and not to mention, let's just point out on that, there was one person killed. I mean, obviously, it was not great that everyone in and the big mess that became of it. But there was one person killed, and it was a female veteran that was unarmed and shot by the Capitol Police.
Yep. That's it. And a lot of feds.
Yes.
Pardon me. So, yeah, the Whitmer thing. Big old, I mean, there was a huge investigation into that. That thing was sus as hell. I mean, evidence was bad. January 6th attack on the Capitol. Okay, the assassination attempts on President Trump by people on the left. The political assassinations of Democratic representatives in Minnesota.
Wasn't that by people on the left?
People, Tim Walz appointees, and there was not. Again, the assumption was that he was MAGA because he killed a Democrat in Minnesota. But the Democrat in Minnesota also just the day before voted against her party lines to get rid of welfare benefits for illegals in the state. So Jerry's still out on that one. The attack on Speaker Pelosi's husband. I'm sorry, Paul Pelosi was caught with somebody that the Pelosi's personally knew because there were photographs of them together. The man had a well-documented history of drug use and being a male prostitute. And they were caught in the house together in their underwear. You be the judge. Okay. The assassination of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk. All right, she gets that one. The recent shooting at an ABC affiliate station in California. Also by a leftist. And over 300 school shootings across this country. These incidents
mostly by a certain community.
By a lot of them by a certain community, and almost all of them, I think if we go back historically, you'll find that these kids were also pumped full of psychotropic medications. Mm-hmm. They were on Ritalin, Adderall, everything else under the sun, right? These incidents, though far from encompassing the full range of violence, illustrate a broader mindset that crosses the political spectrum and must be confronted. Except the show was all about, apparently, MAGA.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is. The whole thing talking about Variety magazine says in no uncertain terms that this was about. Let me pull this up again real quick. Let me get the other screen. And this is why I think this. She's trying to smooth it out like, oh, everybody's bad. But again, read Variety's own poll quote. Somebody who actually watched the entire 8-episode series for review. That I don't think they dropped the details here because of the embargo, but at the same time, they can talk about their general impressions of the show. It looks at a sector of mostly white male individuals who believe that America belongs to them, fueled by hate, bigotry, xenophobia, misogyny. It's all the words the left uses to describe MAGA.
Yes.
So the idea that Jessica Chastain is out there talking about violence in general that is somehow connected to the show. Variety, not Valiant Renegade, has gone ahead and called, pardon my French, bullshit on this whole thing. So, yeah, that ain't working. So anyway, there you have it. Okay.
Do you mind? I need to get more water for Jimmy. Do you mind getting these super chats while I go get that? Okay, I'll be right back.
Yep, go ahead. All right, we got Wonko the Sane for $5. LOL, I saw it. No worries. The money is going to the right place either way. Okay, cool. Because we're about to turn on the Renegade Nation channel here. KB says for 28 months, thanks for your insight on Sinclair and Nexstar regarding Jimmy Kimmel. Yep, we're gonna go into some details there next. And again, we're gonna bleed right over into Renegade Nation. And then once we kind of get into the more specifics of the ICE story, I'm going to shut down the stream on this channel. It'll automatically read, but the Kimmel conversation will be the bridge. That will be on both channels. It just makes it easier for me to add it to the existing one, so you'll have to forgive me. For the folks out there on Renegade Nation, you're not going to get much of a warning on this one. It is just going to pop off. Matter of fact, let me make sure I get that set up right now so I don't totally screw that up. Oh, you know what? I'll have to. Well, no, I guess it won't. I can't redirect it because I'm not actually closing this show down. I'll have to wait till we start it on Renegade Nation. That's what we're going to do. I'll have to wait till we start it on Renegade Nation. Okay. I'll have to set the thumbnail up for that sucker too. Let's see. Yes, it's a good thing to have clarity and a light shined on the truth, not hyperbole. Yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is. We're gonna talk more about that because there's more to the story now. Angela Richter for 29 months. Great to see you all this evening. Thank you, Angela. She also gifted a Valiant Renegade channel membership. Thank you so much. 16-bit for 5. Ahoy, Valiant, Michelle, and Steph. Hope you're all well. Actually, I think we got that one earlier. And then Hillis Mallory for 5. I think that his role at Maxwell Lord... as Maxwell. Wonder Woman 80, 84, 88, whatever it was. Yeah. Talk about Pedro was the worst Pedro Pascal has done. I'll be honest, I couldn't get through that movie. I could not watch the whole thing. I tried. It was so stupid. It was so bad. That movie was everything that you get when you let Patty Jenkins do it all herself. Patty Jenkins cannot write. Cannot write. Siths and Giggles for 2. Pedro is real-life Troy McClure. Fish fetish and all. JPS for 2. We got that one earlier. Thank you for wishing Steph the happy birthday. Hillis for 5. The best skit I've seen was the Dead Parrot sketch. That's another. I bet Michelle is. Let me save that one. I'll ask her when she gets back. But the Dead Parrot sketch wasn't an ongoing one, right? I mean, they did a couple of 2 or 3 at least. I think Spanish Inquisition skits. Have you seen the Dead Parrot one?
I've not seen any of them. I've only seen of their stuff. I've only seen
the movies,
The Holy Grail and Life of Brian.
That's okay. Yeah, because y'all did the movie reviews. Yeah, okay. We'll have to get you into Flying Circus. Okay. Joe Pat for 2. Eisner and Iger are Chip and Dale in a dysfunctional way. Yeah, I can go with that. Here you go. Joe Pat for 2. Michelle, let you hop back in here.
Sing it, please. Mike, and Bob, Corporate Raiders.
Mike, and Bob, Corporate Raider. Oh, is that? I think. Wait, is that Mike, and Bob, Corporate? What is that from? I think I know what tune you're going for with this one. I have it in my head. I just can't. I can't get it off my tongue right now. Let It Go Entertainment.
Am I the only one here crushing on Michelle? Well, I hope not. I hope I have a wide variety.
Audience, this one's on you.
Wide audience.
This one's on you. Rogie for 2.
And thank you, Rogie. I was on Sunday VR, or it was on Sunday VR, no biggie, October 10th. Tron.
It was on. Oh, did I miss a super chat on Sunday from you? Oh, I see. Okay, when I was I thought I went back and I caught a bunch. I caught those after we. Okay, I screwed that up then. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, Hillis Mallory for 5. Go ahead.
Is the Tylenol thing related to not taking alcohol during pregnancy? No, it's again, it was RFK. Of course, what is his official title?
Health and Human Services Secretary.
Yes, it was them, and Trump was the one just saying it. But they believe they have found a link between taking Tylenol during pregnancy to a rise in autism, and I think maybe even giving it to kids too much, maybe when they're really little.
Yeah, and look, and that's Hillis. To be clear, not taking Tylenol during pregnancy is nothing new. That's been, and we pulled up I mean, Tylenol has a history of tweets from their own official X account going back to 2017. We do not recommend taking Tylenol during pregnancy. I mean, and it's been around that way because, you know, Tylenol's it's not Percocet, right? It's not Oxy, but actually Percocet and Oxy have Tylenol in it.
Yeah, it's in those.
Yeah, it's in there mixed up with some other heavier stuff. Let me tell you, when you have kidney stones, I hate taking pain meds. In fact, it's the Tylenol element that's in the lesser stuff, the more hydro stuff, to why that doesn't work for certain people, and they need to go to the more pure stuff. So Tylenol definitely has effects on people. Yeah, but I mean, it's nothing new. That's the left is treating that's like this is new because Trump said it.
Oh, there's, and I have it if you want. I don't know if they would claim that though, because that's ABC with Jimmy. But there was a whole skit where they even brought it up with Robert De Niro last night. It was just weird.
Oh, I did see something about that. Yeah, that was weird. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I know De Niro went out there and he just did another one of his like cranky old man F Donald Trump speeches. Just weird dude. Spaceballs, the user for $10.
I saw a report pregnant woman has terminal liver failure from stupid Tylenol challenge. Sad there are these deranged people. It is sad.
I mean, if she managed to pull that off in a day, she took the whole bottle. If that's true, I don't know if it's true.
No, I think he's being silly.
Yeah.
The reality here is, do you think, Valiant, do you think if under the Biden years, they had came out and said, hey, we found a link to taking Tylenol and a rise of autism, do you really think there'd be a challenge by conservative women to pop Tylenol?
No. Conservative women would have been like,
okay.
No kidding. We've known that for years. That's like, or at least they would have, I don't know that they said that, but I mean, it would have been something like, duh, well, you're not supposed to take Tylenol when you're pregnant anyway. Conservative women, and this is what probably liberal women don't understand. You see, conservative women, when they get pregnant, tend not to kill the baby. You follow? All right?
They want a healthy child.
Yeah, conservative women, when they get pregnant, tend to make sure the baby is born healthy, as opposed to things liberal women tend to do more frequently.
We'll just say something that party might run very heavily on.
Yeah. Albertus Magnus for 10.
Trump recommends the Democrats avoid the popular game Russian roulette. He better not say it. We'll have challenges on freaking TikTok.
Oh my god. Don't.
These people, like, I mean, the sad thing is we really might see it if he did that. So
it's so stupid. Commander Ed Straker of Shadow for 5.
Look, Tylenol should have been removed years ago due to liver destruction, which is fatal by accidental overdose that are tragically very common.
I mean, look, I wouldn't be in favor of removing it. It serves its purposes, and I mean,
it's a fever reducer. It's supposed to be taken for fevers.
You can be perfectly responsible with taking Tylenol. I mean, I don't take it that often. There's sometimes like, man, I get a migraine. It's so bad. I'm like, bro, I'll go pop 2 Tylenol, and it's fine. But I mean, if you sit there and you rely on it every day, and it becomes going to be more problematic. All right, and let's see, where are we at? Let's get a couple of more here, and then we're going to pull up. We're going to bring in Renegade Nation. Flying blind on a rocket cycle for 5. First, the Acolyte wasn't renewed, and now the Savant is indefinitely postponed. Oh no. It's such a shame. Speaking of the Acolyte, we had an update today. I think Jonas had gotten a handle on things, and there was an update to the reported figures. That's it's now over $250 million on the bills for the Acolyte, the gross spend. There was an update on that. Maybe we'll talk about that more Sunday. I got so tired.
It was up to what?
$250 million was the gross
Good
spend.
Lord.
There's still more bills coming in. So, yeah, and I
totally worth it.
Yeah, and I said a while back when Leslie Headland had cited something like $170 million or something, like, I bet Leslie was quoting British pounds. Sure enough, it's looking like I'm gonna have called that one too, because it's getting there. All right, Dearest for $5. Go ahead, Michelle.
When did Chastain become a woke tipper gore who hates her own race? She used to seem smart and beautiful. Was it when she turned 40? Jessica Chastain's always seems to like to kind of throw herself into things, but she's kind of been out of the scene for a while and hasn't really said that much, or at least I haven't paid attention to her.
I think she's just mad her TV show went off the air.
Yeah, because even then, like, in her way, she's trying to make it fair even, but like, reality is what it is.
Yep.
And the real Steven for $2. We all love Michelle. Well, that's good. It's nice to be loved.
That's why I bring you in. I just bait the audience. It's just won't go the same for $10.
Would it be great if there was a twist at the end of the Savant, revealing that the evil men were radical leftists the entire time? Too close to reality for a TV show, but I'd watch that.
That would be hilarious. But I mean, Hollywood is not going to make a full budget $200 million, whatever this thing, 100. Well, it's probably not that. It's not a Disney show, but I mean, $50 to $100 million production for Apple, and lay that down. I seriously doubt
I
it.
can't think of a time where the extremists were depicted as what you typically would associate more with the left.
Yeah. That's yeah. I mean, I think and I'm just setting up the other stream here real quick. We're going to bump right into it. Hang on one second. And see, I tried to do this earlier, but it didn't work unless I was like ready to actually hit the go button on this sucker. Little annoying, but I've done this before. It actually kind of worked out pretty well. So this should just pop right in. Now, I don't know if it's going to let me. It's not going to let me create another thumbnail for this, but I can do it from backstage. So here we go. Let's see if this works. Okay, according to StreamYard, we are now pumping in live over on Renegade Nation.
So we're on both?
Yep, we are. We should be on both. So Renegade Nation, guys, if you're just coming in, we're doing a direct pop-in from the main channel, which we are still running on. If you're watching on the main channel, you don't have to go anywhere. If you want to head over to Renegade Nation right now, that's fine too. But we're going to talk about this Jimmy Kimmel situation. And we'll do that on both channels. But then when we break from Jimmy Kimmel and we head over and talk about the ICE situation from this morning, we'll shut down on the main channel here, and we'll be exclusively already broadcasting over on Renegade Nation. But since I felt like this was a topic, I felt like this was a topic that obviously, something that was needed to be discussed on both channels, because we do have a different audience over there. I wanted to make sure that I didn't have to go through all of this twice. So I figured, why not? Let's just bleed it over. So for those of you joining us in Renegade Nation, all right, we just turned it on, and we already got 20 people over there. That's outstanding. If you've been watching on X, you don't have to do anything. You just stay right where you are. if you actually want to, help the channel out, support the channel, get involved in the chat you see going by here when we pull these up, you got to get over to YouTube for that one. So, matter of fact, let me just go ahead and switch out here the, I guess we got to get the right background here. Bang. Okay, now we're here. And actually, I was thinking about this. I guess, what was it, last 10 days ago, Sunday? Well, you were on the Renegade Nation show.
Yes.
You were at your house. So the last time you saw that show, I was sitting in that room right there.
With Dean Cain.
Yes, with Dean Cain, because Michelle said it would make me look slightly more gay. I'll take it. But in any event, okay, let's get to the Charlie Kirk situation here. Because this, a lot of people are, would you say you've seen people that felt like they got defeated when Disney put him back on the air? Because I mean,
You mean Jimmy Kimmel? You said Charlie Kirk.
Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself with two different things. Sorry, Jimmy Kimmel back on the air. When they put Jimmy Kimmel back on the air at Disney ABC, I mean, it felt like some people were feeling a bit defeated out there, like, oh, well, okay, well, they caved or this and that. I'm like, I'm not really seeing it that way, but we want to talk about some of the specifics here. So, Michelle, I mean, what was your reaction when you saw that, okay, he's going to go back at first?
Well, I just kind of laughed because, I mean, they made such a big deal out of this. I mean, the people on the left, the people who sat by and didn't have anything to say as the Biden administration, literally, we know for a fact, forced censorship on X, Facebook, Instagram. Now we know on YouTube. They said nothing during that. They said nothing for Gina Carano, Roseanne,
Nope.
Tucker Carlson, all these people. None of that to them was a free speech violation, but that was consequence. In fact, Jimmy Kimmel called very much. I have the video, celebrated Tucker Carlson getting yanked from the show. He called for Roseanne to be canceled. They all came out in support of him, and they acted like, of course, the president is a fascist and a dictator. So I actually kind of laughed just because that narrative just fell apart because they were trying to act like Trump did it. And I think it just proved he didn't have anything to do with it. It was the market, actually speaking. And so I just kind of found it funny because it's like you said, I know they're celebrating that people actually watched. But give it 2 weeks and he will be back to his absolutely crappy ratings because he's pretty irrelevant. It is what it is. It just kind of made me laugh. And again, it just proves that the dictator they claim Trump is, he really isn't.
Yeah. You're dead on. And here's the thing. Jimmy Kimmel's ratings, let's remind everybody, because we covered the New York Post story about a week ago now when this first went down. And Kimmel's ratings, like all of late night, to be fair, with the exception of Greg Gutfeld, was in the toilet, right? Colbert has been in the toilet. Jimmy Kimmel was in the toilet. Jimmy Fallon was the worst out of those three, right, on broadcast TV, over the air broadcast.
Am I wrong in this? I thought I heard someone say that that Kimmel was actually lower than Colbert.
No, he was. So you had Colbert was the big. So talking about, let's go with just CBS, NBC, ABC, right? The three big over-the-air broadcasters that have a late night show like this. Because I don't think Fox broadcasts Gutfeld from Fox News over to Fox OTA.
No, it's just Fox News.
That's what I thought. Okay, so let's throw that out for a second. So Colbert had the biggest audience, gross audience of about 2 million average. Fallon has barely over 1 million. Kimmel was kind of sitting at 1.2, like maybe a couple 100,000 more than Fallon. The problem is none of them had any great audiences, and all three of them, of the audiences that they did have, that key demographic, that 18 to 49-year-old demographic, was abysmal. Jimmy Kimmel's 18 to 49-year-old demo was like 120,000. So it wasn't even, it was like either right at 10% or a little less than 10% of his audience was the key demo that advertisers pay top dollar for. So the show was a disaster from a rating standpoint. And it wasn't working out. They were losing money. Colbert was losing $40 million a year, according to Puck Magazine, Matt Belloni. I mean, if the guy knows Hollywood. If he says that, you could pretty much take it to the bank. over at Puck. And the word was that all the other late night shows were losing big money too, with the exception of Greg Gutfeld. Greg Gutfeld, that didn't broadcast over the air, broadcast on Fox News, but Gutfeld's audience, the biggest of the bunch, was averaging closer to 3 million a night. Now, he had some nights where he was crossing, it's quite a few nights, he would cross up over 5, get close to 6. The thing is, Gutfeld's audience, he's got a lot more of that core demo that advertisers pay for. So it made his show much more lucrative.
Well, and he's not on a main station that you just get if you just have basic cable.
Or you mean like over-the-air broadcast?
Yeah.
He's not antenna-driven. I get Fox News. Is Fox News on basic cable in most places? I don't remember.
Well, I guess it is. I just mean it's not one of those main big channels that everybody can get.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. No, it's not an over-the-air type broadcast. So the best thing to do here is probably just to pull up the litany of posts on X that went with this, because dear God, there's a bunch. And I will say, I don't even know if I'll have time to get to this tonight, but this is making the rounds. This came out just before we were going to start the show. I'll throw this out as a teaser if we can get to it. Senior Department of Justice, this is from James O'Keefe formerly of Project Veritas, but James O'Keefe. Epstein investigator reveals that he's claiming this guy was a CIA informant, and that in this video that's out there now that O'Keefe did, again, for what it's worth, he's gotten some big scoops out there before. Give the man some credit. The guy that he interviewed says, I've interviewed all the victims. There's never been an instance where Trump was on a plane with these kids and the grape thing occurred. But that can't be said for Clinton, and that can't be said for others. Oops. Okay, so there we go. If anybody had questions about that, there's the James O'Keefe video out there. But let me go back here, and then we're going to get to this ICE thing. So all these Kimmel, and I think the Kimmel monologue was like frickin' 20 minutes long. We're not playing the whole thing.
No.
There's no way on earth. But obviously, his apology really wasn't much of one. So what happened here is that Disney pulled it down after, going back to last week. Kimmel made a statement on air that directly made, in his mind, the assassin of Charlie Kirk MAGA. Because he said, we've had a lot of things over the weekend, but, one of the things for sure is these people on the right, the MAGA people, they're making a mistake thinking that the shooter was anybody other than one of them. So
Yeah.
I don't know how else to interpret that. That's what he said. And then he tried to act like he didn't say it.
Well, and also let's also act like as he does his fake right on cue of the death of a young man.
Yeah,
There's no moisture in his eyes, but he's crying.
Yeah.
He's crying.
This is the quote. He pulls up this. He wasn't, I don't mean to be crass. Charlie's body wasn't even cold yet when Jimmy went out and made these statements on national television last week.
Well, and the point I'm wanting to make is
he
now
wasn't
he
crying then.
Yes, now he wants to cry about it, but he didn't even have a moment of, it is so horrible what happened to Charlie Kirk, how awful that this man was murdered. No, there's no fake tears until after his butt is about to get canned.
Exactly. That's it. And this was last night, his return. And as Michelle, you pointed out, people are bragging about the viewership, but that was expected. We all knew that eyeballs were going to, like, what is this idiot going to do now? They all wanted to, and again, this is not going to last. Within 2 weeks, his ratings are going to be back down in the toilet. This is going to be short-lived. People are acting like this is vindication. Trust me, it ain't. Usually right about these things. Hate to tell you. All right, here we go.
I don't think what I have to say is going to make much of a difference. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I have no illusions about changing anyone's mind. But I do want to make something clear because it's important to me as a human, and that is you understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man.
Oh, here we go.
I'm trying not to laugh, but good Lord.
Laugh, because it's exactly what he did.
The murder of a young, there's no tears in his eyes.
Yeah, Kimmel has this history of getting all emotional on the stage and all this kind of stuff. I genuinely, it's hard for me to just buy this. I'm not seeing it. It little too perfect. He just slid right into that. I'm sorry. I get to disbelieve what I choose to here when I see the facts in evidence that this man said what he said last week, and this man has said what he said on his late night show that basically nobody watches for years. Why all of a sudden am I to believe now that he's upset about this? But let's let him talk.
I don't think there's anything funny about it. I posted a message on Instagram on the day he was killed, sending love to his family and asking for compassion, and I meant it, and I still do. Nor was it my intention to blame any specific group for the actions of what it was obviously a deeply disturbed individual. That was really the opposite.
Wait.
Yeah, definitely did.
It wasn't my intention to write a script for the show, because all these shows, these monologues are scripted in advance. They rehearse
with his fact checkers.
Right. With his fact checkers. It's written in front of him. They're on teleprompter so he can go through it.
For compassion, and I meant it, and I still do. Nor was it my intention to blame any specific group for the actions of what it was obviously a deeply disturbed individual.
But that's exactly what you did, bro.
Yeah.
And you blamed the group, the one group that unequivocally had nothing to do with it.
I mean, I want to point out again, they want to be like, oh, his family was MAGA. Well, like when they have gone back and released like information going back to 2019, Tyler, the young man involved, he was very involved like in politics. People would reach out to him during the 2020 election, who's going to win, because like they thought he would know the answer because he was involved in politics.
Yep.
And guess what? He wasn't a Trump supporter back in 2019 and 2020.
No. But again, the left's hallmark in all these kind of situations is to, and we're going to show you today when we get to the ICE thing, this may have been one of the fastest turnarounds I've seen from the left, to the point where it's almost funny. Not what happened in Texas today at ICE, but the left's reaction to it is sad and funny at the same time, because it went from, oh, it's absolutely MAGA, to, well, he wasn't trans and he was white. That's what they were left with at the end of the day, because that whole argument fell apart. Jimmy Kimmel, this was the same thing last week with Charlie Kirk, with Kimmel and this whole debacle. He went out there. We already had a lot of things that had been put out there in public by law enforcement, right? Not just the FBI. It was Utah State Police. It was the campus police. It was federal agents. There were a lot of different law enforcement agencies involved. The governor of Utah was out there. Okay? The facts were in evidence. It was not a MAGA shooter. Not to mention the fact that nobody on the left has been able to come up with any plausible rationale, hell, even ridiculous ones, as to why a Donald Trump supporter would go out and take out Charlie Kirk. But that's what they all wanted to run with. And Jimmy Kimmel, at that point when he did that monologue last week, knowing all the facts that were already out there, still ran with a joke, right? That the shooter was MAGA. The shooter was Republican. The shooter was a conservative. That was the joke, except, of course, it wasn't a joke for Jimmy.
That was really the opposite of the point I was trying to make. But I understand that to some that felt either ill-timed or unclear, or maybe both. And for
dude, it wasn't unclear. But can we just say this? Michelle, was it unclear?
No, it was very clear.
Yeah, it was very clear.
Those who think I did point a finger, I get why you're upset. If the situation was reversed, there's a good chance I'd have felt the same way. I have many friends and family members on the other side who I love and remain close to, even though we don't agree on.
I bet they called and chewed your ass out too.
If he really is close to him.
Yeah.
Politics at all. I don't think the murderer who shot Charlie Kirk represents anyone. This was a sick person who believed violence was a solution, and it isn't.
The typical left-wing backpedaling. You could set a Swiss watch by this. We went from Jimmy Kimmel, the shooter was MAGA, right? That was his statement, to now, the shooter didn't represent anybody. Oh, no. He represented somebody. You just refused to say it. And this is why, I don't know about you, Michelle, but for me, I'm like, this is the worst apology I've ever seen.
Well, it's not really an apology. He's saying sorry if you misunderstood, but that we didn't misunderstand anything.
No.
You called him MAGA. You said he basically is one of anything but one of them. And we all, at that point, they all knew he was not. So it was just a bold-faced lie. And again, he's bragged in the past about his fact checkers. And as you pointed out, this is not like he's going off the cuff here. This is he's got a teleprompter in front of him. It's a written out script. They knew what they were doing, and they told a bold-faced lie to the public, contradicting all the information that was already out there.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what we get from Jimmy, is now he could have said, look, I misspoke. I identified the shooter as somebody who was a Trump supporter or MAGA. I should not have done that because it was wrong. Didn't do that. He immediately went into, you didn't understand what I said.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's your fault. That's kind of like an abuser. It's not me. You made me do, like, it's your fault. You made me do this.
It's like when you say, it's like, okay, we've all had instances where either we say things that didn't come out the right way, or you do say something that somebody else does misinterpret. That does happen. But again, it's hard to lay that down again when you have a show like this that is scripted, rehearsed, and telepromptered. I mean, this is not something said in the midst of a debate or in the heat of an argument or something like that. It's just like, no, you planned that line for hours. It's like you actually went to bat with this. So that's the part for me that really I'm not digging. So
yeah.
Again, if you're just joining us on Renegade Nation, no, we did a little bit different tonight. We didn't have a separate lobby set up early for everybody. We just bled right over from the main channel. So thanks for joining us. If you're watching on the main channel still, watching on X, head on over to Renegade Nation, and this is where the show will continue once we finish with the Kimmel topic. We're going to talk a little bit about the situation this morning in Texas at the ICE detention facility.
Ever. And also selfishly...
I'll back it up a little bit.
Who believed violence was a solution, and it isn't. Ever. And also selfishly...
Yeah, people in the audience, violence isn't a solution. But we all still think Trump is literally Hitler.
Well, as they hold up signs that say clap.
Yeah, it's like, oh, God. I love, they put, again, Hollywood puts on a show. And that's what this is. This is Hollywood putting on a show. This is all show. Deep down, these people believe, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them, unfortunately, or at least far too many of them, believe that what happened to Charlie Kirk was justified because he said things they didn't like.
And speech is violence.
Yeah. Words are violence to these folks. It's the reality of it for some of these people, and a lot of these, way too many people on the left that we live in. I
am a person who gets a lot of threats. I get many ugly and scary threats against my life, my wife, my kids, my coworkers because of what I choose to say. And I know.
Here we go. Here we go. The I get it too part.
Duh.
The hashtag Me Too moment for Jimmy Kimmel.
Those threats don't come from the kind of people on the right who I know and love. So that's what I wanted to say on that subject. But I don't want to make this about me because.
Has somebody shot you? Shut up.
Yeah.
And I know this is what people say when they make things about them, but I really don't. This show is not important. What is important is that we get to live in a country that allows us to have a show like this.
Yeah. You can have it on Hulu, you can have it on YouTube, you can have it anywhere you want, but you know what? You're not entitled to have it on the FCC. And this is the crux of it. So this was Kimmel's return it again. There was 28 minutes of this garbage. But that was the major section, right? That was the big section. Was this part of the monologue. Come on. Here we go, cursor. So I'm just, what do you do here with this guy? Now, again, the people are talking about, I'm gonna see if I had these saved. People are talking about the ratings for the show today, and they're saying, oh my God, he got 17 million views on YouTube. So? And? Where do you think that's gonna go? I mean, what do you think? What kind of ratings do you think he's going to get? How about his viewership on YouTube tomorrow, Michelle? After his show tonight, let's see how many views are we going to get for that one. You think?
Definitely, it's probably already going to be cut in half. Like they'll still be higher than what they were, just because people are tuned in, even on the left. They want to support, they want to kind of see, and the people on the right are like, "What's he going to say?" But then give it like a week or two, and it's going to go back to normal.
Yeah. I mean, that's the bottom line in it.
I actually tweeted out, I think a really good business move for Disney if they want to keep the Jimmy Kimmel show.
Oh yeah.
And my idea to extend an olive branch is the last time people really liked Jimmy Kimmel, it was when he was with his partner, Adam Carolla. So why not bring Adam Carolla into the Jimmy Kimmel show as a permanent fixture?
Why not? I don't know if Adam would want to do it, but yeah, no, I look, definitely, right? I think that would be huge for that show because Carolla is, in case y'all don't know, Adam Carolla is pretty much the opposite of Jimmy Kimmel when it comes to politics.
And he's actually funny.
Yes, he is. He is actually funny, whereas Jimmy Kimmel just tends to be mean and stupid. And that's the bottom line.
Not a good combo.
Yeah, it's a very common combo for people of his political ilk. I hate to say it, and at least the ones that are celebrities, right? Mean and stupid tends to go hand in hand. This is another section of it. I'd save this one because it doesn't take him long to immediately turn this around. So he just delivered the line in the last quote about how we get to live in a country where we get to have a show like this. Again, and I want to reiterate, nobody was going to cancel your show. Even if we take Trump's content or comments at their face value, again, over-the-air broadcast will remind everybody.
The President of the United States made it very clear he wants to see me and the hundreds of people who work here fired from our jobs. Our leader celebrates Americans losing their livelihoods because he can't take a joke.
What was the joke?
Yes, what was the joke? And secondly, he on the same network called for Roseanne, who he took totally out of context from a tweet. And he was all gleefully about her being fired. So he didn't give a crap about the hundreds of people working on Roseanne. That was like a hit show at the time.
Yeah. Way bigger audience than what Jimmy Kimmel has.
Yes.
Yeah. Like multiples, like millions more people watching Roseanne. Much more of the core demo, a show that brought in a lot more money than Kimmel does. Yes, you're right. But yeah, I still want to know, Michelle, what was the joke? He said the president couldn't take a joke. What was the joke?
Well,
that the
and
shooter that killed Charlie Kirk was a Trump supporter? That the guy who assassinated Kirk was MAGA, a Republican, a conservative? No, that wasn't a joke. You were making a deliberate misstatement of fact.
well, and let's also point out that in, I believe it was 2021, he made another joke about how it would be easy to decide who gets to live and who gets to die. Because here he is talking this BS about how he's got all these friends and family that are on the other side. Well, if you disagree with Jimmy on the vaccine back in the day, he believed that you should be the one to die first. So he's not a good guy. He's not a kind man who has a lot of graciousness in his heart towards other people. It's no, if you don't walk the line I agree with, then well, too bad, you can die because you don't have the experimental vaccine.
Right. Yeah. Oh, he was hardcore on that vaccine stuff. And remember, you make me think of something else. Michelle, what was the story that we started with a few hours ago on the main channel? The FCC or the Google thing.
Yes, Google censoring and deplatforming YouTubers over the COVID situation.
Jimmy Kimmel didn't give a rat's behind about any of that. And the reason he didn't is because the people that were getting canceled on YouTube during COVID were saying, wait a minute, I don't know, should we just believe all this at face value? Obviously, I'm paraphrasing, but the government forced Google to shut these channels down that went against the official government narrative. Jimmy Kimmel didn't care about that because Jimmy Kimmel was swallowing the government narrative hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on the other. Again, this is only when it either does or does not, depending on which way he wants to go. But when things don't politically suit Jimmy Kimmel, he doesn't give a damn about people's jobs or anything else.
No.
I mean, this is ridiculous. This man is lying to cover his ass. Now, the other thing that's important to realize is that he's still off the air in a significant portion of the country. So he is back on ABC, but he wasn't back on ABC in over 60 markets in the United States. And I think I still have the map, but I'm going to tell you what. It's a lot of where you'd expect. It's in the South. It's in the Midwest. It's a lot of very red areas. Now, the cities may be deep blue.
Yeah, because there's cities like Seattle that he's not in.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And the cities may be deep blue, but the suburbs, which really pay the bills for a lot of these TV stations, are deep red. We talked about this the other day. It's like people look at where there's like, oh, well, the New Orleans market and this market and the Baton Rouge market and you've got, they had television stations in Buffalo, New York. It's like, yeah, but remember the TV stations don't just serve the inner city. That TV station serves all of those deep red suburbs that typically are around the city. And that's where a lot of that money comes from. Back up a little bit.
Because he celebrates Americans losing their livelihoods because he can't take a joke. He
wasn't a joke.
Somehow able to squeeze Colbert out of CBS. Then he turned his sights on me, and now.
Okay, let me address this. He somehow squeezed Colbert out of CBS. Again, this is more just absolute horseshit. I'm sorry. It really is, because Colbert was going to be gone anyway. He was losing $40 million a year, according to Puck Magazine and Matt Bellany. That's a lot of money. Okay?
Yeah.
Paramount, CBS, just got bought out by Skydance and the Ellison Group. David Ellison. I can promise you that David Ellison, who does not tend to vote Democrat, if you catch my drift. He's a Trump fan. It doesn't matter, Trump fan or not. David Ellison didn't just drop $10 billion on buying Paramount CBS to keep bad assets that are losing $40 million a year. That was going to be one of the first things to go. In fact, I've been saying that you know, whenever, because this Skydance deal has been going on for some time, or at least it's been, you know, for a year they've been trying to get to this point. I thought Skydance, and it still might happen, that one of the first things they would do would be to jettison the broadcast television, CBS itself, because I don't think that's what they were after. That still may happen in the next year or two. Who knows? Because broadcast television in general just loses money these days. I mean, it's been losing money and shedding a lot of top line revenue because people are cutting the cord. They're going to streaming. So Stephen Colbert's job was not going to be something that was going to be long-winded anyway. By the way, if they really wanted to get rid of Colbert, why is he still on the air every night?
Yeah.
He's still there.
Mm-hmm.
They're just letting his contract run out till May because they'd already, again, pure business decision. They looked at it and they were like, okay, well, we have ads sold for Colbert well in advance. That's what upfront advertising sales are for. So we're gonna let him run his course till the end of the season, and then that's gonna be it. We're just not gonna bring him back. So keep whining, Jimmy.
Now he's openly rooting for NBC to fire Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers and the hundreds of Americans who work for their shows who don't make millions of dollars. And I hope that if that happens, or if there's even any hint of that happening, you will be 10 times as loud as you were this week. We have to speak out against this.
So he's turning it all back on Trump. But again, I want to remind folks, the reality is, and we covered this the other day, not only did you have Sinclair, not only did you have Nexstar, you also had national advertisers calling into Disney, as per the Hollywood Reporter, all about Kimmel's comments. And guess what, kids? Sinclair and Nexstar are still off the air. And they were not particularly pleased with Jimmy's comments last night because they're like, well, that's what we thought we'd get. Jimmy really didn't apologize. He just said, you know, sorry that you misunderstood exactly what I said.
Yes.
It just...
It's exactly, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, that's exactly what he did. And again, I just have to call BS here because he wants to talk about all the hundreds of people. Yes, all those people will lose their job. They'll, you know, hopefully find something else, but they're going to probably lose it anyways because you have, in his words, when he was asked by a reporter, how do you feel about basically turning half the country away? Is it good riddance? He said, well, not good, but it's riddance. So maybe this is some of his fault because maybe if he had not become a total partisan hack, those people's livelihood wouldn't be on the cutting board because the show would do a lot better. If you would actually occasionally, just stop making it. This is supposed to be funny late night. It's supposed to be lighthearted, silly at the end of the day. It's not supposed to be CNN Light or MSNBC. Like, that's not what this is. It's supposed to be a comedic show. Again, bring on comedians. Bring on your old buddy that is a conservative, Adam Carolla, and people might actually watch that, Jimmy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And this was, I think, the last clip from the show that I wanted to play here. When he goes into, again, he just goes into a tirade about Trump. And again, kind of missing the point here because, again, hey, Jimmy, if you want to go on Hulu exclusively or Disney Plus exclusively or any one of the 15 different cable networks that Walt Disney has, go for it. When you're on the public airwaves, the FCC has rules. And what a lot of people out there seem to be forgetting is that, just because the FCC has been lackadaisical in enforcing some of these rules over the years doesn't mean the rules don't exist. It's kind of like watching an NFL game and then, all of a sudden the refs, no holding calls. No holding calls at all for the first 3 quarters. And all of a sudden, the last play of the fourth quarter on a critical play, like somebody throws the penalty for holding. It's like, well, okay, it sucks. But yeah, holding's still a rule, right? It's still there. This is part of the issue with the FCC right now. And again, I think the biggest thing to point out was Brendan Carr's comments last week being, hey, look, the local affiliates, They have the power to, they don't want to show something that's provided by, the parent. They don't have to if it doesn't serve their audience. That's the idea.
Gunning for our journalists too. He's suing them. He's bullying them. Over the weekend, his Foxy friend Pete Hegseth announced a new policy that requires journalists with Pentagon press credentials to sign a pledge promising not to report information that hasn't been explicitly authorized for release. That includes unclassified information. They want to pick and choose what the news is. I know that's not as interesting as muzzling a comedian, but it's so important to have a free press, and it is nuts that we aren't paying more attention to it.
Well, okay, so we're talking about what? I mean, I didn't see that story. I can go look it up. But okay, promising not to release anything from the Department of Defense. I mean, it seems, whether it's classified or unclassified, or okay, well, what exactly did that entail? What is the context of that? I'm not sure. But he's talking about picking and choosing who journalists are. Here's the problem, and again, on the FCC side, how many times? And he brings up Trump's lawsuits. Do we all remember what those were about, especially like with CBS? It was the 60 Minutes thing where they took Kamala Harris's interview and completely doctored it to make her look better. And again, effectively giving her a free presidential campaign. Because if they had actually put the interview, because the actual full interview unedited leaked, and she was a train wreck, journalism would have been presenting the American public with Kamala Harris's authentic performance during that 60-minute segment. They didn't do that. They deliberately doctored it. Did they do any of that for Trump? You best believe they didn't. So when you're on the public airwaves, you have an FCC license, and we can go back probably 30 or 40 years now, and it's not going to take too long. You guys in the audience know this. Michelle, how one-sided have the major broadcast media, ABC, NBC, CBS, probably in the last 30 years, just that, been to the left versus the right?
Gosh. I mean, well, what was the report on, even the reporting on Donald Trump? It was like 95 or plus, I think, I want to say like 98% negative.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just it. It's been so one-sided. And I mean, everything under Obama was peaches and roses.
Yes.
Right? Everything under Bush was horrible. Everything under Trump is terrible.
Everything under weekend at Biden's was wonderful, and his cognitive health was amazing.
How many times did these national broadcasters, ABC, NBC, CBS, like, not forget Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon and all these clowns for a minute, but I mean, like, the actual, here's ABC News, here's NBC News tonight, here's CBS News tonight, as presenting themselves as news programs. How long did they carry the fake Trump-Russia story even after it was completely debunked?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you sometimes still see people bring it up.
I mean, it was amazing. I mean, at the very least, they should have been issuing caught, but they didn't, because they knew they damn well knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't reporting the news anymore. They were trying to steer it.
Yes.
They were trying to create it themselves. And again, hey, look, you want to go do that on MSNBC? You want to go do that on Fox News? You want to go do it on CNN? Fine. But if you've got that coveted FCC broadcast license for you to send that stuff out over the public airwaves, you're going to get bit, son. And finally, you have somebody at the FCC now that's going to say, look, we're this kind of crazy stuff isn't going to happen anymore, where we're just going to be deliberately putting out misinformation on the public airwaves. Now, again, I understand people can argue that door will swing both ways, because who gets to decide what's misinformation or not? I get that. But the fact of the matter is that you cannot, and this is what drives me nuts, Michelle, you cannot complain if you're Jimmy Kimmel about having your free speech suppressed, or the people supporting him saying that his free speech is being suppressed. And again, it isn't. He can go on YouTube tomorrow and do and say whatever he wants. He can go on Hulu tomorrow and do and say whatever he wants. Nobody can stop him there. Nobody's going to stop him there. But the same people out there that want to take, because we have one here, Sinclair and Nexstar, Democrat congressman, wants to haul them into a Senate or House oversight committee meeting and bring them in. And
Isn't
basically,
that Pocahontas?
Yeah, grill them about, well, it might have been her too. But he wants to grill them about this decision. It's like, it's really, again, Sinclair and Nexstar, apparently, their free speech doesn't matter. The free speech of their advertisers don't matter. The free speech of their audiences that don't watch Jimmy Kimmel and have rejected Jimmy Kimmel, they don't matter.
Yeah.
They just want to know, why are they not complying with big Disney? You know, it's like, yeah, okay, so this, again, the door swings only one way with these guys. I'm going to try to find that piece here real quick. Had it saved. Yeah, Jake Tapper. It's the most direct infringement by the government on free speech in my lifetime. This is from Jake Tapper, formerly of CNN. I'm like, dude, Craig's response was perfect. Y'all, Stuttering Craig from Side Scrollers out there. I'll play this clip a little bit. This is actually amazingly stupid.
All right, Jimmy Kimmel, he's a friend of both of ours.
Yeah.
You know him, I know him. We know he's a good person. Obviously, this news is very exciting. But what was your original take on how this all went down starting last week?
I mean, I thought it was pretty much the most direct infringement by the government on free speech that I've seen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
You have
Bruh.
Yeah, that's intellectually dishonest. He is being dishonest with that statement. This loser knows all the things we've gone over, all the censorship that happened under the Biden administration, and he sat there on CNN and said nothing. So please spare me, Jake Tapper.
Yeah, and he was one of the people getting all the edicts coming down from the Biden administration on what government mandated line he at CNN and the media had to toe. Remember, they don't even have an FCC license at CNN because they're cable only. But I love Craig's comment. Apparently, Jake Tapper didn't get the word about what YouTube was caught doing.
Yes. YouTube. He missed the Twitter files that were released a few years ago. Like, he's just missed all this stuff.
Yeah. But again, for him, this was the worst thing. And I gotta play it. I gotta play it.
Oh gosh.
Oh, God.
Not them.
Yes. Who was it? Oh, I gotta go back. Was it Anna Pauline Luna? Who was it that referred to them as, it was the funniest thing, the bitches on the View. It was a couple of weeks ago. And I love this. Do y'all really think we weren't going to talk about Jimmy Kimmel?
No, we all assumed you would.
They didn't talk about Jimmy Kimmel last week, Michelle. They're only just now talking about Jimmy Kimmel once Disney gave them permission again. Okay, I'm just telling you now. That's what happened here. Let's listen to the clip. This is from, I think this was from this morning, or this is from yesterday. Let me say, wait, when was this?
It had to be this morning.
No, this was yesterday.
Okay.
This was yesterday after it was announced that Jimmy was coming back on the air tonight or last night. Yeah, this was before Kimmel's show. So here we go.
Did y'all really think we weren't going to talk about Jimmy Kimmel?
Not until Disney gave you permission.
I mean, have you watched the show over the last 29 seasons?
Not really, just to make fun of it.
So no one silences us.
Y'all were pretty damn quiet last week when it happened. Y'all didn't say anything on Wednesday. You didn't say nothing on Thursday. Y'all didn't say nothing on Friday. You didn't say nothing on Monday. This week, this was Tuesday. This was almost a week later. Y'all hadn't made a peep.
And to all my friends in Italy who reached out, you have to know it's okay. We're still here. We're still broadcasting.
All your friends in Italy.
It's just so random.
That's the most random. She's like, nobody liked me here. So I had to go find friends in Italy. Like, what? all my friends in Italy that reached out because nobody in America cares about you. I think that's good, Lord.
And when the news broke last week about Jimmy Kimmel's suspension, we took a breath to see if Jimmy was going to say anything about it first. We did the same thing with Stephen Colbert. Then our show was on tape on Friday. But we are live here today, and we're getting into it now.
Oh,
So they could have tweeted. They could look. Let me tell you. Don't buy into this for a second that they chose this response. I promise you, on a live news and current event program like this, they were told, "Don't get into it." Disney. I'm telling you, because the dust hadn't even settled yet. I guarantee you they got a thing from Disney Legal. Michelle, how many times did Sunny Hostin over there get that little bug in her ear from the lawyer offset, and they had to come back out of commercial break, and she had the grimace on her face like, I was told by Disney Legal that I have to tell you that what I said before was stupid. You know, it's like, this was one of those. I'm just telling you.
Okay? Because to be clear, you cannot now, I want to make sure I got this right. To be clear, you cannot
read that teleprompter just like Jimmy did when he said what he said. Come on, Whoopi.
She's like straining to see it.
And
she's really, really trying. I didn't read this script before we started.
That's right. To be clear, you cannot like a show and it can go off the air. Someone can say something they shouldn't.
Pause it. It's like she's, you know how you use your finger to read? It looks like she's reading.
Exactly what she's doing. She's reading the teleprompter.
She's reading the teleprompter with her finger on national television.
And this is the worst part. She's acting like she's just off the cuff. Oh, we had a lot to say. We just didn't. We wait for Jimmy. Now that Jimmy spoke, let me tell you what we're going to say. I think that it was bad. I'm like, this is unbelievably stupid. This just, I mean.
Taken off the air, but the government cannot apply pressure to force someone to be silenced.
You got a FCC license. Again, we have to keep... the FCC license doesn't mean you get to go out on the air and say whatever you want. You know what else? The FCC license, you have a broadcast license. You can't go out there and you can't do porn. You can't go out and drop, S-bombs and F-bombs on the nightly news.
TV and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you're over the air broadcast, right? They get fines when there are rules the FCC has. And the core point of the FCC license is to provide something that is a public service. And when you're constantly abusing your FCC license to literally denigrate over half of the country because they voted for Trump and any other Republican that came before, because the news has been doing this forever, then, hey, you know what? It's reasonable if you're not just going to do straight up news, if you're going to do constant one-sided hardcore political commentary and constantly denigrate half your audience, you know what? Maybe an FCC license isn't right for you.
Mm-hmm.
Go to cable.
Yeah.
Go to streaming.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. Right? Do whatever you want. They could put Jimmy Kimmel, like I said, the first day this happened, I said this idea that Jimmy Kimmel was shut down by Trump and the FCC was absolute horse crap. All Disney had to do, first of all, they didn't have to suspend production of the show. We found out why, because Jimmy Kimmel was being a jerk and he didn't want to say anything. He didn't want to come out. He didn't want to apologize. And then he acted like today he came out and made an apology. Well, wait a minute, Jimmy. Everybody reported last week you didn't want to apologize. You wanted to go out there and get even more harsh and double down on it. But today you're acting like you coming out and making an apology like you're so sorry. It's another reason I don't believe a word you say, because that wasn't the case last week. But hey, you know what? You want to do this kind of thing where you constantly trash a little more than half the country out there, certainly the majority of the voters from the last election, you want to constantly trash, go on YouTube, go on cable, go on Hulu, go on ESPN, go on Disney Plus, whatever. But nobody has a right. It's not in the First Amendment. You have a right to free speech. You don't have the right to be heard, but you have the right to free speech without reprisal from the government. However, a federal communications public broadcast license is a privilege, not a right. Mm-hmm. So if you want to go say it, yes, actually, you can go say it anywhere you want, but you don't have a right to use public airwaves that are regulated by the FCC. Simple as that.
Yep.
So, nobody was putting Jimmy Kimmel in prison.
Mm-mm.
They weren't even asking Disney in the beginning to cancel the show. They just, hey, somebody's going to have to do something because, some of these local broadcasters can, they can override Disney and not show his show. That's basically what Brendan Carr said, and that's exactly what happened. Oh, but Nexstar has a special deal. They need FCC approval because they're trying to buy Tenga. Then explain Sinclair. Why did Sinclair jump in? Why were national advertisers calling Disney? Anyway. All right, let's get some of these super chats. And then I'm going to move into some of the stuff that happened this morning with ICE. And Michelle, you're welcome to stay, but I know it's been a long show. You can hang around. You can go. I don't want to keep you.
I'll jump off after we do the I'll go through all the super chats.
Absolutely. All right, let's grab some of these super chats here. There's a handful that came in from the other channel, but most of these I think are all still from the main channel. They're going to be a little out of order, kids, because we've got 2 feeds coming in from YouTube right now, so bear with me. All right, Tennessee Tornado for 2.
Gifted membership to me. That's a good feeling.
There we go. Benjamin Loken for 2.
Test 1, 2, 3. I think he went to the other channel.
Yeah, this is on Renegade Nation. Yeah, Loken. I saw that one. I think Tennessee Tornado was over there too. Albertus Magnus for 5.
Habitual use of NSAIDs is bad. Occasional use as needed is safe when used directly. Use only when needed, not on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's like Tylenol, right? That's what he.
Yes.
Think and I know I can't remember it stands for something, but it's a chemical name. Yeah, it's like acetaminophen, I guess. Albertus Magnus for 5.
All the isms that plague modern society are based on Caesarism.
I think Caesarism. I think is what he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That threw me off. The original totalitarianism. This is who leftism are. All of them. Screw them.
Yep. Let's see.
I learned a new word there. I've never heard Caesarism.
Yep. It's mostly when you get stabbed by the Senate in the back 40 times.
That's a tough way to go.
Yeah.
And
that's what Caesar thought.
And Albertus again for $1.99. Jimmy Kimmel is a liar, pure and simple.
Yeah, I don't think there was much of anything sincere in what he said. Sorry, I mean that's just me. I'm entitled to my opinion. That's my free speech. Suck it on it if you don't like it. I mean, it's like Jimmy, right? I can say whatever I want. Yeah, but nobody has to believe you, dude. And very few people do. And again, this idea that he's oh my God, the biggest audience Jimmy Kimmel has ever had. Call me in 30 days. Let me know how that goes. Yeah, he'll be down to the smallest audience he's ever had, because remember, it doesn't matter that he got 10 million views on YouTube. They're not making revenue on YouTube like they make from television. And when you had close to half your TV stations or whatever it was, half the footprint in the country gone from Sinclair and Nexstar. Yeah, what were the Nielsen ratings for that? I'm sure they were really high. They were probably the highest they've ever been in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and New York. But largely the rest of the country probably didn't give a flying flip.
Probably just watched on Twitter or X to see what was said.
Everybody just went to go watch the clips on YouTube. That's it. Great. Congratulations. You made, probably not even 2% of the money that you would have made with television being operational. Hillis Mallory for 10.
I regret those watching me are so stupid to understand the nuance of what I said. I didn't say that. Not really. I may have misspoken, but I didn't mean it.
Yep, that's just it. I'm sorry that people watching me were too dumb to understand what I was saying. That's a great way to put it. But the thing is, we all understood what he said. Because, I mean...
Yeah, it was pretty clear.
It was very, very clear. There was no other way to interpret what he said. Wonko is here for $5.
This show is not important, is possibly the only honest thing Jimmy Kimmel has ever said.
That's perfect, Wonko. I love it. That's absolutely right. Spot on. Spot on. Archer Merchant for 2.
And then the affiliate said, we don't give an F, Jim.
Yeah, it didn't. Sinclair and Nexstar. Hillis Mallory for 2.
Is it Comedy Central looking for someone? Hey, JK.
Hey, I look, let him go to cable.
Yeah.
Fine. Oh, God. Hillis for 2 again.
Russia, Russia, Russia.
Marsha. Dearest for 2.
Isn't this the gayest free speech violation?
Oh, wait. I know what he wants me to do. Hang on. Well, I know what you're going for. Make you $2 worth it. Here we go. Is this the gayest
Oh, yeah.
free speech violation ever? It's a joke from the gay guy that does the red carpet for Variety magazine and always asks, is this the gayest Star Wars you've ever done? Is this the gayest Marvel you've ever done? It's a thing. Hillis Mallory for 5.
I'm Whoopi Goldbrick. I'm a working actor. I was TMNT by Michael Bay. Or I was in TMNT by Michael Bay.
Was she really? Oh,
yeah, was she?
Is that was that one of the newer? I know it wasn't the original ones.
No, that would have been the newer ones that they did like several years ago, but
barf. That's terrible. She must have been a voice actress.
Yeah, I can't remember that.
God, she wasn't the fat black potato April O'Neil, was she?
Man. Oh, was she? No, I don't think so.
No, that was Seth Rogen that did that one.
Yes, that's right.
Michael Bay did like the CGI, the weird. Yeah, I think I'd have to go back and look. I didn't watch those either. A huge TMNT fan. Did not refuse to watch those. I was like, nope, no thanks. Those look bad. Marcus Quintus for 2.
A well-timed F-bomb by Trumper Vance is TV gold.
Is it ever? JD Vance called somebody a dipshit on Twitter today.
Oh, gosh.
Everybody went, you can't believe he did that. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's funny. Wonka the Sane for $10.
Show of hands. Who else is in favor of renaming the View to The Few to reflect the size of the audience of those widows licking harpies?
Licking harpies.
Sorry, moronic screeching brings out salty Wonko.
Oh my God. It's so that show, that absolute horrible dumpster fire of a show.
It's terrible.
But here's the thing though. The View actually gets better ratings
than
makes
Jimmy.
more money than Jimmy Kimmel.
I can see that.
Yeah. Nobody's watching Kimmel at 11 o'clock Eastern at night or whatever it is.
No.
It just, except for, again, based on the demographics of the audience, it's usually older. I think it's older white women just laying in bed with their cats.
Yeah, and because it's the way he went. Again, if you want the younger audience, make it fun. Make it entertaining, not just political.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and we got one more here. John Maynard for 5.
Whoopi Goldberg needs to get her glasses prescription checked. It made her look super old. I'm going to start doing that because
that was so bad.
Valiant knows my setup. Sometimes I struggle to read, so I need to start doing the Whoopi with my finger on camera.
Oh, that was the fact that she went into this whole we weren't silent about Jimmy. We got a lot to say about Jimmy. I'm about to give you the whole thing, and then she starts. The fact that she went from being this, oh no, we had and she went into a teleprompter. I mean, that was just gold. That was just pure gold. Yeah, we got a lot to say what Disney can tell us to say.
Well, they probably because the Disney can't trust these women to go off script.
Well, look how many times they've gotten in trouble for the stupid stuff they've said that they had to make corrections on air. I mean, it's been so bad. All right, audience, stay tuned. We've got to talk about what happened this morning with ICE. I need a minute here, but Michelle, I'm going to hand it to you for 30 seconds if you just kind of want to tell the audience where they can find you, and then we'll be right back with the next story.
Awesome. Yes, you can find me and my sister at Force of Light Entertainment on YouTube. Also, go follow. I'm the one. It's basically just my account. I got off my personal account when back then Twitter actually did cancel the president of the United States, got rid of his access to Twitter, and I got rid of my personal account. So I'm the one who runs the Force of Light Entertainment account on X. You can follow us there. You can follow us on Instagram at Force Flight Entertainment. But we actually do a live show where we kind of deal with this stuff in pop culture at Mondays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you there. And also, we do, if you ever just need to check out of all this political stuff, come check us out. And we do reactions. I think maybe possibly even next week, there could be a reaction with one Valiant Renegade coming up on our channel. So definitely go. We also do movie reviews. Go check us out at Force of Light Entertainment.
Yeah, gonna wind up in a video over there.
It'll be fun.
No, it was a lot of fun. So Michelle, thanks for joining us this evening for the Vixen show on the main channel, and then hanging around here to do the crossover.
Last thing, I want to thank every one of you out there, without me knowing, for you guys sending in super chats for Valiant to bring up a 4K player, which my Blu-ray player was even dead. So that was such a blessing.
Oh, yeah.
And then also the new surround sound I have that can blow out my house. I love it.
Yeah, I was like, you do movie reviews as kind of or first time watches, I should say, on your channel as one of the big hallmarks, or like the hallmark there besides the live shows, I should say. I'm like, y'all gotta get out of the little room, get in here, put a surround sound system in. We got to get another. So we're trying to help them build up the studio so they can do that more effectively. It was a lot better being on the couch than sitting in the little chairs doing all that. Yeah, especially when you're trying to watch a big movie. All right, Michelle, thanks so much for hanging out.
Good night, and I will be back soon.
Take care.
Bye.
All righty. Okay, on with the show, and we've got a lot to go into here. So now that we've kind of gone through too many big stories this week, I thought about doing another show the other night. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to hang on one second. I want to make sure I do the right one. All right. So we are going to shut down the stream on the main channel. You should be automatically redirected over here. You have to click a button to do it, but it'll redirect you over to Renegade Nation. Okay. So we're going to go down on the main channel here. 3, 2, and 1.